Odyssey Sports Station. San Diego, it's time to fire it up. From the beaches to the ballparks, from the gas lamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime use.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
What's up, San Diego? And happy Thursday to everybody out there in America's finest city. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each and every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Alongside Frank Marchese, I'm Braden Surprenant. Let's talk Padres baseball. Let's talk about MLB playoffs. Let's talk about a lot of different things. What's going on in North Carolina, Bill? Wow, did that get interesting? We're going to talk about that at noon. My sister's in town this week, which is cool. I get to hang out with her. She doesn't live here anymore. Sad. But she's a teacher, and she is on fall break. So I get to hang out with her. And I said, this Bill Belichick stuff is interesting. She goes, what is Bill up to? And I said, well, you're going to have to wait till noon. And she was like, tune in. Yes, tune in at noon. We'll talk about Bill. What a crazy fiasco that is. Coaching chaos and nepotism inside the dysfunction, a divided locker room, player issues, public and campus reaction. I mean, major damage control yesterday. North Carolina football. You think the Arizona Cardinals are a circus organization. You think that the Cincinnati Bengals are a circus. You think insert organization here is a circus. North Carolina college football program is an absolute bleep show. And then there's the Jets. I won't bother you with that. We're going to talk some playoff baseball here in a second. Obviously, you know what? It's just going to fester. It's going to be the elephant in the room. It's just going to be sitting there, marinating until we get to it. So you might as well start with it, Frank. Go ahead, buddy. Let it out.
Dale. The Yankee lose. The Yankee lose. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hey, let's do it again. The Yankees lose. The Yankees lose. Let's go, baby.
But you don't take it personal. I get it.
One more. The Yankees lose.
The Yankees got their ass kicked again. Talk about an organization that's not,
Happy Yankee Elimination
past.
Day to all who celebrate.
Yep. Is that yesterday or today?
That was yesterday.
Happy first day of the Yankees being eliminated day today.
Oh, so good. I love it so much.
Dun, 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 dun. Start spreading the news. There you go. All right, I'm done with that. I don't really care. Yankees lost. We knew that was going to happen eventually. I mean, they were on their way out. Yankees are eliminated. Everybody else is still competing in the divisional series. Tigers and Mariners are going to Game 5. Cubs and Brewers are going to Game 4, with the Cubs coming back to beat the Brewers yesterday. 4-3 victory for Chicago in Chicago. Philadelphia bludgeons the Dodgers yesterday. Put up some late runs on Clayton Kershaw. Did you see the videos of running over Clayton Kershaw jerseys?
Yeah, because, first playoff loss, that's a completely normal reaction to have,
They're just waiting for it to spiral out of control. I'd love to see the Phillies win again tonight. That'd be great.
You've played 5 playoff games, and that was your first loss.
First loss.
Like, really? Come on.
Start burning the Kershaw jerseys, apparently. So 3 of the series are going another game. Tigers and Mariners are going back to Seattle. Chicago and the Brewers will play another game tonight in Chicago. And the Dodgers and Phillies will play another one in Los Angeles. Some notes of reference for the divisional series. Blue Jays, first ALCS since 2016. Vlad Jr. had 3 home runs and 9 RBIs in the ALDS. Yankees, 34 runs allowed in 4 games. The offense hit 203 by players not named Aaron Judge. I mean, you can say what you want about Aaron Judge. We can talk about how we think Cal Raleigh probably deserves the MVP more than Aaron Judge, and I don't really want to get into that debate. We know what Frank thinks about Aaron Judge. But you take Aaron Judge out of that lineup, they're hitting 203 as a team. Maybe he is the MVP. I mean, if it wasn't for Aaron Judge, maybe the Yankees aren't very good. Phillies did the piggyback strategy. Nola to Suarez was successful last night. Schwarber, 2 bombs against the Dodgers. Stars started to show up for the Phillies in Game 3. Kershaw, 10th playoff game, allowing 5+ runs. Ooh, that vintage playoff Kershaw last night. Cubs bullpen, 5 innings, 1 run. Brewers, Priester implodes for Milwaukee. Tigers offense scored 9 runs in Game 4, as many as prior 3 games combined. Erase a 3-0 deficit, go on to win 9-3 as they scored 9 unanswered runs that even up the series and force Game 5. Seattle Mariners now have to face Tarek Skubal in Game 5. Mariners fans anxious. Long drought may continue. That's everything you need to know about what happened in the divisional series last night. All 4 games were in action. We'll talk more about that in just a second. But I wanted to transition into Padres baseball. And we're going to talk about this at 11 o'clock. And we got a lot of guests today at 11:35. Chris Murray from Nevada Sports Network.
10:35.
10:35, sorry. Nevada Sports Network host and columnist Chris Murray will join us as we break down San Diego State and Nevada coming up this weekend. We have our usual guests today. Eddie Brown at 1:35. Skyler will come on and make her college picks at 12:35. And Matt McIlvane, the San Diego Gulls head coach, will join us at 1 o'clock as Gulls hockey gets underway tomorrow. Ducks hockey gets underway tonight as multiple hockey teams are now opening up this week. Hockey is back. NBA should be following shortly. College basketball is on the horizon, and we're starting to transition into that mid to late fall season sports into the beginning of winter sports here in America's finest city. But now let's talk about the Padres. Okay, we're going to talk more about them at 11, as mentioned before. But what I want to ask about the Padres is this. Can you run it back with the same team and with the same coaching staff for 2026? They did that last year, kind of. Not really. I mean, the Padres have yet to really run it back with the whole roster. I mean, with Jerickson Profar, they didn't run it back with him. They ended up not signing him. He signed with the Braves last year. Years before that, right after 2022, they didn't run it back with Josh Bell. They didn't run it back with some of the pickups that they had at that deadline. They haven't really run it back with any of the pickups that they've had at deadlines in terms of guys that were rentals that were about to be free agents. Maybe it's something to do with price. But from last year to this season, I think you can make the argument that they could have ran it back with a lot of different things, with the same coaching staff, with the same general manager, everything intact. They played good baseball out the stretch, and they ran into a little bit of a playoff drought. This year, I mean, recapping the 2025 season, there wasn't really a lot of excitement. There wasn't a lot of offensive prowess. The entire season, you were waiting for them to really get it going. They never got it going. And the difference between 2025 and 2023 is at least you still made the playoffs. You didn't have this epic collapse because your pitching staff was good. But I look at the season in 2025. I don't want to run it back with the same team. I mean, what's going to change from this past season to next season that's going to get them out of a funk? Especially offensively. I mean, this is the stat drop off from 2024 to 2025. In 2024, they were 10th in home runs. 2025, they were 28th. Now, that being said, handful of injuries throughout the season. Guys like Jackson Merrill didn't have that big power year that he did in his rookie year. He missed a significant amount of time. You didn't see it out of Fernando Tatis Jr. in the leadoff spot. He didn't seem like he was himself. I mean, there's a couple of excuses mixed in there, but 10th to 28th is ridiculous. Runs scored 2024. They had 8. They were 8th in baseball in runs scored in 2024. This past season, they're 18th. OPS, they were 6th in Major League Baseball, and they were 16th this past season. The contact-heavy line drive approach under hitting coach Victor Rodriguez worked wonders in 2024. Kind of backfired this year in 2025. So what needs to change? Is it the players? Do they got to get better players in here? Do the players themselves have to be better? Is it a organizational philosophy? Because in the postseason, the lack of power was definitely glaring for the San Diego Padres. The offense was productive situationally, but lacked the slugging punch that drives October success. And the other thing, too, was it wasn't like the Padres had great numbers offensively the entire season and then fell apart in the playoffs. I mean, the playoffs are a crapshoot. We've talked about that before. But the playoffs this season, they played like they did in the regular season. Everything that cost them in the playoffs, we were warned about in the regular season. So what's going to change? I'm not sitting here saying that A.J. Preller and Mike Shildt should be gone. Both are expected to return. Preller's got a year left on his deal. Shilt's got 2 years left. They're safe. I would hope an extension for Preller is expected soon. I would hope that he would get an extension. So, but those two aren't going anywhere. Nor should I say that either of them should go anywhere. You know, the players are locked in for a long time. So what's going to change? Do you need to change personnel? Do you need to change coaching? I mean, some of the coaches on the staff have expiring contracts. You're not going to renew those coaches? You know, Kevin Acey laid it out in an article today. I mean, Ben Fritz could be pursued as a lead pitching coach by teams hiring new managers. That's a possibility. I wouldn't like to see Ben Fritz leave. I think he's done a great job. I think the pitching staff's done a great job. Ruben Niebla is under contract through 2027, but has long been seen as a future MLB manager. I mean, he could be a potential interview candidate somewhere else. I don't know if necessarily it's a Victor Rodriguez problem, but something needs to change. What is the change that needs to be made? You got to bring in more sluggers? Is that the difference? Organizationally, do you got to make some tweaks on offense? Or is it just the stars that need to have an attitude, mindset, and change? It's going to be interesting to see what the Padres do. But they can't just run it back with what they had in 2025 and expect different results in 2026. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. We're going to dive more into that in the 11 o'clock hour. When we come back, let's talk about Yankees elimination day. Blue Jays advance. Chaos reigns across Major League Baseball postseason. We'll recap all of it when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. $10:19 on a Thursday. All guests on 97 through the Fan. Join us via the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. Facing criminal charges, trust David P. Shapiro Criminal Defense Attorneys, helping clients regain control since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. We will be having somebody on the Fan Hotline in the next segment.
That new Fan Hotline is going to get a workout today.
Good. That's the whole point of the Fan Hotline. Anyway. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Happy Yankees Elimination Day, Frank. I know that's a big day for you every year. Do you celebrate Phillies Elimination Day? Not when they play the Dodgers.
No, that's a hard series to root for because I hate both teams.
Yeah.
Like you'd rather see no one win out of that series.
Yeah, I hope they both lose. I would rather watch the Phillies win, though, to be honest with you. He's the lesser of two evils.
That home run by Schwarber last night, unbelievable. The fact that it only went 455 feet, I think, is a little. That's a little off.
He'd look good in brown and gold.
You would?
How much you got in your savings account? It's trying to pile it all together.
You
trying
want
to get Kyle Schwarber on the team.
You want the honest answer or a
no?
lie?
I don't want you to say anything.
And penny.
It has funds, okay?
And literal.
It
penny.
has funds, okay? It's like at Ghostbusters. Yeah, I'm gonna need the money so we could take out our new client. This is this little Chinese dinner we have right here. Chinese food dinner we have here is the last of our funds. That's how I feel like sometimes. Anyway, let's get us fired up on a Thursday. Braden, how's bad? You're on the Braden Surprenant Show. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, boys? I'm just here walking the boardwalk in my hometown of Carlsbad, and we're undefeated. Why are we undefeated as San Diegans? Because you know what? When other people's teams kind of poop the bed, they don't get to do what we do here, and that's called paradise, everybody. It's not in LA. I like to call that the fentanyl zombie capital of the world. So they need LA to win, because other than that, it's a shit. And I agree with you guys.
Come on. Can't say that word on the radio. We got to be better than that, Brandon. He was letting it off the cuff right there. I mean,
he was.
Oh, my God. Let it ride, apparently. All right, well. Brandon's not taking the loss good, it sounds like. We'll talk to Brandon next week. Let's talk about the postseason last night. 2025 MLB postseason delivered a full slate of high-stakes elimination games on Wednesday. It's the last time we're going to see 4 baseball games in the same day. A lot of baseball fans. That's not fun. While the Blue Jays, Phillies, Cubs, and Tigers all made headlines for big wins, the Yankees' early exit once again raised tough questions about the direction of their franchise and the wasted years of Aaron Judge's prime. What a drastically flipped.
I know, right? What are we doing?
Report.
What happened?
From yesterday. Yankees eliminated. Blue Jays advanced to the ALCS. The Toronto Blue Jays defeated the Yankees 5-2. They won the ALDS 3-1 and clinched their first ALCS berth since 2016. Toronto dominated the season series. They went 11-6 against the Yankees and trailing for only 5 innings the entire series. Vlad Guerrero Jr. unstoppable. He was 9 for 17 with 3 home runs and 9 RBIs in the series. His postseason breakout comes the same year he signed a 14-year extension to stay in Toronto long-term. Blue Jays now await the winner of Tigers and Mariners Game 5. I know you were tuned into that game last night, Frank. Did you enjoy watching the Yankees get their ass handed to them again?
Enjoy is a strong word. I could think of stronger though. I was elated. I was very, very amped up, I guess, as the youths would say.
The youths.
Yeah. No, I was happy. I was happy.
Vlad Guerrero Jr. silenced his critics. Baseball's next face of the American League. Man, we like to overreact. Buying or selling? Sell.
No.
Sell. After years of postseason disappointment, Guerrero finally delivered when it mattered most. Does the ALCS run cement him as a top 5 player in baseball? No. You know what cements him as a top 5 player in baseball? Him saying.
Yeah, I was to say, like winning a World Series?
No, him saying, the Yankees lose. That was great.
That was it.
That was one. What's going on with the Yankees now, Frank? Is Aaron Judge wasting his prime in the Bronx? Is he like Mike Trout? Just he makes the playoffs? That's the only difference?
There's another Aaron that's probably going to get the axe.
There's no way Aaron Boone survives this.
No.
There's no way he survives this.
And such a jerk answer yesterday.
I didn't see it.
I'm under contract. So, yeah, I expect to be back next year. That's not always how that works, big dog. Like, come on.
Now, see, I do think that's a stupid media question. Do you expect to be back next year? What do you want him to say? No, I'm expecting to get fired.
Yeah, no, I got a call.
What do you think
2 days.
he's going to say? Are you expecting to be back next year? See, that's a stupid question. Not how would you evaluate the season? Do you expect to be back next year? That'd be like if our media asked Manny Machado, do you expect it to be traded after your poor performance? That is the equivalent of that question. Do you expect to be back next year? Of course he does. He's under contract. That's a dumb question. That's the difference. I thought the New York media holds him accountable. No, they just ask stupid questions.
Yeah,
that's a stupid question.
That's how that works.
That's how that works. Aaron Boone is probably gone, though.
I can't
imagine them bringing him back. Last year they brought him back.
He should have been fired after last year. But again, it's hard to justify firing a manager after a World Series. This is a lot easier to justify. Looking completely uncompetitive in a 3-game series against the Toronto Blue Jays. That is, and not winning the division. It's more justifiable.
Is it on Aaron Boone, though, the fact that the Yankees hit 203 without Aaron Judge?
Is it on Aaron Judge that the bullpen, bringing in wrong guys out of the bullpen? Is it?
You mean Aaron? Well, I mean, the entire offense is hitting 203 except for Judge.
No, I know.
That's kind of a bad. That's more on Brian Cashman than anything else.
Right, which is another reason why people in New York are calling for Cashman's head and have been for a while as well. The guy's been the general manager for that team for the last 25 plus years.
Hasn't he been the general manager since I've been alive?
Pretty much. I mean, he has been the guy for years.
Brian, he was hired by the Steinbrenner.
Yeah,
right?
the Steinbrenner still own the team, but George.
He's been part of the Yankees organization since 1986. He was an assistant general manager in 1996. I mean, that's crazy.
There's got to be somebody new in charge coming up.
He became the general manager in 1998. I was 3 years old. He won the World Series in 98, and what did they win in 99? 2000. Hasn't won one since 09.
Mm-hmm.
He's the longest tenured GM, is he not?
By far.
It's not even close.
What, 27 years?
Yeah.
27, 28 years?
27 years. He's won the World Series 4 times, but the last one came in 09. They won 98, 99, 2000. They won 3 in a row. And then they won in 09. And then they haven't come close since.
No.
What did they make? 1 World Series or 2 in that time span?
2001, 2003.
No, since 09.
Oh, since 09? Yeah, no, that was just last year.
Just last year. And they looked bad. They look like the Bad News Bears.
Mm-hmm.
As much as Aaron Boone should probably get let go,
so should Cashman.
Brian Cashman needs to be out. There's no way they let go of Aaron Boone and they keep Brian Cashman. What's the reason to keep Brian Cashman?
He won you rings.
Yeah,
a long time ago. He keeps you competitive.
You're the New York Yankees. You got to make big boy decisions. You got to make big boy decisions if you're the New York Yankees. That's a big boy decision. Is Aaron Judge wasting his prime in the Bronx? I don't know. The team's not very good around him. I mean, the bullpen's not very good, as you mentioned before. Starting pitching's okay. Man, Max Fried got tagged the other day.
Mm-hmm. And that was one of his worst starts this year. I mean, he has been very, very good for the Yankees this year.
Loser, and the winners and losers of the divisional games yesterday, Aaron Judge. He went 9 for 15 in the series with a homer and 2 doubles. Rest of the team hit 203. They were 25 for 123. That's incredible. He hit 600 in the series. I mean, he's got to be so frustrated. You think he demands a trade?
Yeah.
Get me out of here.
Yeah, that's what happens.
These guys don't want to win. Yankees have not reached a World Series or have not won a World Series since 2009, despite massive payrolls and superstar talent. Loss feels growing scrutiny of Brian Cashman, manager Aaron Boone, and the club's roster construction. Awful. Let's transition to the other American League game, Tigers and Mariners. I mean, the Mariners were getting close to popping some champagne to get to the American League Championship Series. But then all of a sudden, here comes Detroit. They exploded for 9 runs in Game 4 after just hitting 165 for the first 3 games. Bats got woken up. We had the Tigers fans in our YouTube chat going like, I'd rather get a colonoscopy than watch this team compete in the postseason. How about now?
You got one more day of it. One more colonoscopy scheduled for
apparently.
5 p.m. tomorrow.
What the Tigers fan said in the chat, I would rather get a root canal and a colonoscopy at the exact same time than watch this Tigers team try to hit in the postseason. They just put up 9 runs unanswered to win the game 9-3. Javi Baez, Riley Green, not the country singer, and Gleyber Torres all homered yesterday. Tigers offense came alive just in time to face Tarek Skubal.
By the way, Javi Baez hit the most visually aesthetic home run I've seen in a long time. Did you see his home run that he hit yesterday?
Yes.
The puff of dust, dirt, whatever that came off the ball and bat when he hit that home run. Oh, it was so good.
So now you got Game 5 in Seattle. They got Skubal on the mound. Seattle's offense has gone a little bit stagnant since then. And you're going to have the Seattle native in Tarek Skubal, who went to Seattle University, in a decisive Game 5 to go to the American League Championship Series. That's going to be fun. How do you think Mariners fans are feeling right now?
Tense.
Tense is right. They're in a box. They were outs away. Multiple out. They're starting to, I don't know if they're starting to count outs yet, but they were in a good spot thinking they're going to the American League Championship Series. And here comes the, here we go again. On to the National League. Cubs bullpen logged 5 innings of 1-run ball after starter Jameson Tyon exited early. Well, there's another surprise. Another guy that mowed down the Padres exits early against the Brewers. Michael Busch made MLB postseason history the record-breaking performance, multi-homer, 5 RBI game. Brewers starter Quinn Priester lasted just 2/3 of an inning, giving up 4 runs, a disaster that burned Milwaukee's bullpen for Game 4. 4 RBI game. Cubs stay alive. Cubs going to get tonight's game or the next game?
I mean, they look good. They looked pretty decent yesterday. So, I mean, if you think home field advantage means that much, you got to do it tonight. You have to.
They played better than I thought the Yankees did against the Blue Jays in that one win. I don't think it's going to be a gentleman's sweep. They might force Game 5. They might be going back to Milwaukee. Dodgers and Phillies. Phillies avoided a sweep with an 8-2 blowout win. Their piggyback pitching plan worked. Aaron Nola opened it up. Rangers Suarez followed. Kyle Schwarber hit 2 home runs, now up to 23 career postseason homers. Dodgers bullpen imploded again. Clayton Kershaw came out of the pen. He gave up 5 runs in the 8th. The 10th time in his postseason career, he's allowed 5+ runs. The road team has won every game so far this series. Did the Phillies win tonight?
Have they announced the pitching matchup yet?
I haven't seen it.
Let me see here, because they hadn't last night. Let's see what it is. It is. It's Christopher Sanchez versus Glass now. I think the Phillies have a really good shot at it. with Christopher Sanchez on the mound, I think they have a very good shot at it.
I think the Phillies, if they the Phillies winning tonight and send it back to Philadelphia, I could see them. I think they're going to be. I think they're winning the series. I think last night might have sent a message. This looked like another. Here's another typical Dodgers postseason collapse. Clayton Kershaw pitches, gives up 5 runs, and it all goes downhill from there. And that happened last night. I'm actually looking forward to that. I want to be talking about Dodger Elimination Day just as excitedly as Frank was talking about Yankees Elimination Day.
We need Big Papi with a
the Dodgers lips.
Yeah, we need one of those.
Doesn't really roll off the tongue the same.
Still.
So, anyway, that's coming up later on tonight. That's a 3:00 game today. That's going to be interesting in LA. When we come back, Chris Murray, Nevada Sports Network host and columnist, will join us to break down Nevada and San Diego State. Big football game coming up this weekend, 7:30 kick. We'll talk about how the Aztecs do and how the Nevada Wolfpack stack up when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show. .1040 on the Braden Surprenant Show. Here on a Thursday, this hour on 97 through the Fan is brought to you by IHOP, introducing the IHOP Value Menu, where all your breakfast faves are just $6 each every day. Where else can you get a big, filling, sit-down breakfast for only $6? Go to your happy plates with the $6 IHOP Value Menu, available every day at IHOP, $7 in some locations. Joining us now on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline is a columnist and a host for the Nevada Sports Network. His name is Chris Murray. He has covered the Nevada Reno football program, and he will be joining us right now to talk a little bit about Nevada Reno football as we get ready for Aztecs and Wolfpack coming up on Saturday. All guests on 97 through the Fan do join us on via the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. Facing criminal charges, trust David P. Shapiro criminal defense attorneys, helping clients regain control since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Chris, what's going on? How's your Thursday going?
I'm a Dodgers fan, so I didn't like last night's game, but other than that, it's going pretty well. Can't complain about a 2-1 series lead.
Yeah, that's a very bold thing to say on the Padres flagship station as a guest immediately to start things off. So anyway, you're now hated by most of our audience. So we'll see how this interview goes.
That's why I threw it out there. I get plenty of hate from San Diego State fans with my AP polls over the years. Very passionate group of fans, which I appreciate.
Let's talk about this Nevada Reno football program. Coming in at 1-4, their only win is over Sacramento State. They did play some good competition. I mean, obviously playing Penn State on the road is very difficult. Had a tough one with Fresno State on the road last week. What is the status of this Nevada Wolfpack team that you've seen so far this season?
I was just looking for a breakthrough, and it was the same story last year. I mean, Jeff Choate was in his first season, and Nevada played a lot of close games. They just couldn't win very many of them. So they go 3-10 overall, third straight season with 10+ losses. But they did play much better last season, 2-6 in one possession games, and it's been the same story this year. They're playing a lot of competitive games. They're just not doing the things necessary to win games. And really, it's been the turnovers. Nevada's first in the nation with 14 turnovers, first in the nation with 10 interceptions. And that's probably why you're going to see a quarterback change for this game against San Diego State. So the defense has played well. The special teams has been solid. The offense has been a mess. And the Wolfpack is hoping that maybe a change at the most important position on the field triggers a little bit more out of that group.
It looked like they got a little bit of a spark out of Carter Jones last week when they brought him in against Fresno State. As you mentioned before, Chuba Purdy, who's the brother of Brock Purdy, started the season, but, 8 interceptions and a couple interceptions against Fresno State obviously led to his benching. What kind of, what does Carter Jones bring at quarterback for this Nevada Wolfpack team?
Well, true freshman. He's from Lancaster, Texas, played in arguably the most difficult district in the entire country for high school football. So he's a pretty advanced product. He's got good size, 6'3". He's a good athlete, but not like a Chuba Purdy athlete. Like Chuba is leading Nevada in rushing. He's going to keep the ball the majority of the times on read options. I wouldn't say that's Carter Jones's skill set. Carter Jones can move around in the pocket. I think he's a pretty agile guy, but he's not going to necessarily beat you with his legs. Now, the arm, I feel like it's special. I've seen a lot of really good quarterbacks in my time here. Obviously, Colin Kaepernick rolled through here. Cody Fajardo has been a great quarterback up in the CFL, winning a couple of Grey Cups. Jeff Rowe, who played in the NFL as well. I think Carter Jones has a special arm. And I think the thing that stands out about him is the quick decision-making, the poise, getting the ball out to the right place. And he's got the quickest release I've ever seen. So if this is his first college start, it's obviously going against probably the best defense in the Mountain West, according to the numbers. San Diego State holds that honor. So it's not going to be an easy test, but Nevada had not had multiple offensive touchdowns in any of its first 4 games. They put Carter Jones in the second half against Fresno State. He scores back-to-back touchdowns on back-to-back possessions. Nevada had just 2 passing touchdowns in its first 4.5 games. The second half against Fresno State, Carter Jones has 2 passing touchdowns. So we did see a lot more from Nevada's offense during the 30 minutes in the second half against Fresno State with Carter Jones under center. So I think that's why Nevada is optimistic about maybe winning this game, despite the fact that it has really struggled on offense throughout the entire season.
We're talking with Chris Murray, who is a host and a columnist for the Nevada Sports Network, giving us a preview of Nevada and San Diego State football coming up this weekend. It'll be a 7:30 kick out here on the Pacific Coast as the Aztecs travel up to Reno for their next conference game after winning their first conference game last week against Colorado State. When talking about this team, Chris, I mean, obviously, and you mentioned a lot of it, the turnovers is what really hurt Nevada in all of these games and all of these losses. I mean, you look at some of the scores. Mid-Tennessee State was a loss by 3 to Fresno State. I mean, obviously, Penn State is a different animal that they had to deal with, but a Nevada team that has a 1-4 record, but I think limiting the turnovers, all of a sudden it's a lot different of a team, and a big reason why, at least when we've talked to athletes from San Diego State, they're expecting to see a lot more improved Nevada Wolfpack team than what they have shown on their record.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Jeff Choate's tenure at Nevada, 18 games. Nevada's won the turnover battle just 3 of those times. Like, that's not going to get it cut. You're not going to help you win games when you already have a talent deficiency. You look at the game against Fresno State, Nevada turns the ball over 4 times in the first half and misses a field goal in the first half, 5 of its 7 possessions, and in either a turnover or a missed field goal, and they still only lose by 3 against one of the better teams in the Mountain West. Nevada's just thinking, hey, if we could just not turn the ball over multiple times, we can win games. And Nevada has had at least 2 turnovers in every single game this season. And it hasn't all been on the quarterback. There's been a couple of key fumbles by their lead back, Herschel Turner Jr., but it's mostly been on the quarterback. So usually if you play a younger quarterback, there are going to be mistakes along the way. So if he makes a couple mistakes, it's kind of par for the course with what Nevada's seen, but there seems to be way more upside with Carter Jones. I feel like if Nevada just had played turnover-free football, or maybe just 1 turnover per game, it'd probably be sitting there at maybe 4-1 at this point. So I think that is the biggest key and the biggest thing holding this team back, because I think Nevada's defensive line has been spectacular. Dylan LaBarbera is a lightly recruited kid out of Redding, California. He's leading the nation in tackles for loss. On the other end, Jonathan Maldonado has been a huge player. He had a pick 6 to win Nevada's only game against Sac State. You go to the last time Nevada played San Diego State 2 years ago, Jonathan Maldonado had a strip sack to win that game for the Wolfpack 6-0. So they've got some really talented players on defense. They've got a pretty good offensive line. They've got pretty good running backs. The special teams, which was a disaster last year, has been pretty good as well. It's just the quarterback position and the turnovers. And if that gets fixed, Nevada can be very competitive in the Mountain West.
With the quarterback change, Chris, I mean, Purdy also leads the team in rushing yards as well. With the quarterback change, that opened more of a door for Ramseur and Turner to get more carries.
And I think that was kind of the concern at pulling Chuba out of the starting position, is that what would that do for your rushing attack? Because he is Nevada's most athletic player. And you could still see him in maybe some gadget plays and things of that nature. But I think the box was being stacked to a certain degree because Nevada couldn't throw the ball, that, you know, the run game might still be fine, just because you'd have to honor the passing attack a little bit more if Carter Jones is under center. So I don't think Nevada's rushing attack is going to be quite as dynamic, and San Diego State's very good in that area, just giving up 3 yards per carry. But I think the trade-off for actually having a little bit more versatility with the offense is probably worth it. And, you know, I kind of underscored that I don't think Carter Jones is like going to go and get you 50 or 60 rushing yards. He is still a pretty good athlete. I mean, this is a guy who can move around in the pocket. If he needs to go get you a dirty 5 and get you a first down, he can do that. So, you know, Caleb Ramseur, Herschel Turner, Nevada used to be known for its rushing attack for a long, long time under Chris Ault. They haven't had a 1,000-yard rusher since 2016. That's almost a decade. There were years where they were having 2 and 3 1,000-yard rushers. So that run game has not been great historically the last couple of years. It has been better this year, but I think a lot of that is Chuba Purdy. So, I think Nevada still wants to be able to establish the run. That's what Jeff Choate wants to do. And certainly with the young quarterback, if they can get that ground game going, that makes things easier for him. I think this kid's ready to go in there and throw the ball a lot. I think you saw it against Fresno State. I think he's very confident. I think he's very composed for, just being an 18, 19-year-old. I think he's going to go out there and play well. I think Nevada has a really good chance of upsetting San Diego State because there's not a lot of tape out on this guy. I don't want to compare him to Colin Kaepernick, but the first time Colin Kaepernick started a game, he put up 66 points against an elite top 10 Boise State team. And I think there might be, before you get film on Carter Jones, this is kind of the time for Nevada to sneak up on teams and maybe surprise a couple because they don't know exactly how to slow this guy down because they haven't seen him.
Going to be a tough battle for San Diego State. Last thing I got for you, Chris, about this particular game coming up this weekend. What's the overall, scouting report from Nevada on what they expect to see from this San Diego State Aztecs team?
I mean, they're very complimentary in terms of the defense. Jeff Choate, who's a defensive-minded head coach, he was the defensive coordinator at Texas before coming to the Wolfpack. He said that they have special players in all three levels. He said they're arguably the best defense in the Mountain West. And I think the thing about the offense that has stood out to them is the size. I mean, your average offensive line starter is 330-plus pounds. You've got big running backs. You've got a big quarterback as well, and very complimentary of the wide receivers as well. I know Nevada holds a lot of respect for San Diego State heading into this matchup. It could be the last time these two teams play for a long, long time. Obviously, a couple of Nevada's historic traditional rivals are heading off to the Pac-12, like a Fresno State, like a Boise State. Those series might continue. I think it's going to be a little bit harder for the series to continue with San Diego State in terms of football. Hopefully it continues in basketball because there's been some great games between the teams. But, Nevada knows it has to play a really good game to win this. I think they're just hoping that they can play a clean game. I think if they feel like they play a clean game and they don't turn the ball over and they lose, so be it. They just feel like they've been giving the opponent wins so far this season, and they want to stop doing that.
Chris, appreciate the time. Thanks again for joining us. Going to give us a little preview of the Aztecs and Nevada. Look forward to talking to you again.
Sounds good. Go Padres.
There you go. Flip the script a little bit on that one. That is Chris Murray. He joins us on the David P. Shapiro fan hotline. Facing criminal charges, trust David P. Shapiro criminal defense attorneys, helping clients regain control since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Some people just have an unhinged level.
Y'all gotta
of
chill,
Dodger
man.
hatred.
Like, for real.
I don't know if anybody is if they're just clowning or anything like that, but it's just like, all right, dude. In order to be a guest on the show, you have to give us all of your affiliations, and if any of them go against what our local town is, you're not allowed to be on the airwaves.
Yeah, like I said in the chat, I'm sorry, but Unashamed Dodger Fan was not on his Twitter, Instagram, or LinkedIn profiles.
That was pretty funny, though.
That was a shock.
That was great. I didn't mind that. It's called fun, guys.
Exactly.
You guys can have fun every once in a while. You guys are too uptight. Go touch grass, man. It's a beautiful town out there.
Yeah,
we got a beautiful city, dude.
Do you want to address this now? Because Johnny just posted it again in the chat, and you told me about it yesterday, and I'm honestly in agreement with you.
Yeah, Johnny said Xander Bogaerts is going to have a terrible year and therefore have an under 2 WAR or whatever it was, or under 3 WAR. I said he's gonna do better than that, and so made a bet that he was going to have over a 2 WAR, and he ends up having a 2 WAR. And so Johnny wants a burrito. But as I said, injuries negate all sorts of bets because he missed an entire month. When you miss an entire month of baseball, you don't get WAR, does not accumulate. So therefore your bet is invalid. Yeah, if you're going to take that to Vegas, guess what Vegas would have said?
It's a push.
It's a push, which means
get your money back.
You get your money back. There you go.
Not a penny more.
100%. You're in agreement with me on that.
I am.
You try to pull that in Vegas, dude. Tell me what they say. Send your ass packing is what they would do. Send your ass packing is what they would do. They just laugh at you. They're like, nah, dude.
Speaking of getting your money back.
Yes.
Lakers and Cavs fans.
Oh, God.
In Cleveland are trying to get their money back. One fan in particular has now sued LeBron James for, what was it, $856. And I swear to everything, you better not forget about those 66 cents. Because he was duped by the decision ad that came out. He bought tickets, and then after that decision was turned out to be an ad, the tickets, quote unquote, lost all value. So he wants his money back, and he wants it from LeBron.
This is why we can't have nice things, because people like him exist.
Exactly right.
People like him exist. Imagine being that kind of person. Imagine being that guy. Seriously, being that guy. You're the guy that foolishly bought in thinking you were sneaky, bought a ticket thinking it was going to be like this big retirement ceremony thing, and you got your ass duped, and now it's like somebody else's fault. No, you're an idiot. You deserve to face the consequences of your stupidity. Unbelievable. We're going to talk Padres when we come back, 11 o'clock hour. A lot to break down from Kevin Acey's recent article. 11 o'clock hour on the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each every day from 10 to 2. All guests on 97 The Fan join us via the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. Facing criminal charges, trust David P. Shapiro criminal defense attorneys, helping clients regain control since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Everybody's upset about our last guest being a Dodgers fan. God forbid. God forbid. Needed the preview on Nevada football. Now I know everything about Nevada football. It's going to be a tougher game. It's going to be a tough game for the Aztecs, Frank. Tough game for the Aztecs.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. And we'll get into it a little bit more tomorrow. But, yeah, it's going to be a very, very difficult game for them.
We're going to get our picks in. At 12:30 with Skyler, the queen of college football, is going to be back.
There you go.
Making some good picks on a lot of good games out there in college football. Should be
New
a fun
leader
time.
in the picks.
Yeah.
Skyler.
Well, she's the queen of college football, so she's going to have to be the leader. She's good at picking the spreads. All of us we're losing massive amounts of money, though, if we are actually doing this. By the way, college players and staff members can now potentially bet on professional sports. We're talking about that at 12:15.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong?
Gosh.
These guys cannot get out of their own way. We're going to talk Padres baseball here in a second, but I have to ask, we got Clay in the South Bay on hold. What does he think about the Browns quarterback room that have gone from 6 players to now 3 players? Clay, what's going on, man?
Hey, gentlemen, it's a beautiful Thursday here in San Diego. I did touch the grass on my front lawn this morning. I cut it.
Nice. I love it. That's great.
Hey, the Browns, hey, I'm just happy that they're settling on Gabriel. I think he'll be a nice fit. He's a very decisive quarterback. You get him, get Judkins, and, get some wide receivers doing their thing. I think we'll be fine going into Pittsburgh. George Steinbrenner would have fired Aaron Boone like 3 times by now. I mean, it's just crazy. It just proves one thing, though, guys, that money can't guarantee you a World Series. Though, I'm concerned, Braden, I'm concerned about Ohio State going into Illinois. I mean, Illinois, they're kind of up and down, but they're a tough team.
They're a 14.5 point dog at home, Clay.
I know, but I'm going to tell you, I think that game's going to be closer than 14.5 points. I'll tell you that right now. I just feel it. But and Cincinnati getting Flacco, they needed a serviceable quarterback to try to help their younger quarterbacks get along, I guess. I mean, and that's what his goal was, and that's what his job was in Cleveland, and that's why Gabriel didn't start when everybody was going, "Oh, Gabriel needs to start." Well, Gabriel still needed to prove a couple things, and I think when he came in the 2-minute warning, 2 minutes and left in the game. Sorry, can't say warning. But anyway, when he came in the last 2 minutes of the game, I'm sure that was just another check in the box for him to be comfortable and to make him the starter. But overall, the Mariners, I don't know. I hope they win, but man, I'd love to see the Dodgers and Phillies just both choke on chicken bones or something while they're playing their games, because I really want somebody new in the World Series. And if it isn't either one of them, I might even watch it.
Sounds good, Clay. Appreciate the phone call. Hey, the good news is the Yankees are out of the picture. The American League options are not bad. Frank, the American League options are not bad in terms of rooting interest. Seattle, Detroit, the Blue Jays, all a couple of, I could get behind any of those teams. I could really get behind any of those teams. In the National League, I need the winner of I don't really want to root for the Cubs either. I basically just root for the Brewers in the National League. Do it for Bob Uecker.
Yeah.
Do it for Bob Uecker. It'd be nice to see the Brewers win it over the Cubs. I mean, I don't want to see the Cubs win a World Series. I also don't want to see the Dodgers or the Phillies win a World Series either. That'd just be rough. I mean, to see the Phillies win a World Series after the Eagles win a Super Bowl, talk about insufferable. Talk about insufferable that you have to deal with. All right. We didn't fully break down John Seidler's first end of the season message that he sent Padres season ticket holders. We didn't really fully break that down. I mean, he did the whole like full eval thing. They always do that. Every team always does a full organization evaluation. And the teams that don't, they're bad. They're bad teams that don't do that. It's the Arizona Cardinals. It's the, Cincinnati Bengals. It's the Arizona Diamondbacks, bad org. It's the Miami Marlins. I mean, just think about all the bad orgs, and then there's the Jets. Then the Jets. I don't think the Jets have ever had an extensive evaluation of their entire organization from top to bottom. But he wrote his little deal, right? And in a candid 4-paragraph email to fans, Seidler acknowledged that the Padres' weaknesses were exposed in their wild card loss and that the, quote, process of getting better will begin immediately. It is a refreshing tone, blunt honesty instead of, kind of a corporate spin, and signaling the franchise new expectation level, World Series or bust. I do like the fact that he said that, and this is, again, take it for what it's worth, but the Padres organizationally, the last, couple of days, last week, it's been a week now. It's been a week since they've been eliminated from the playoffs. In the last week, you have heard the tone change from making the playoffs is now not good enough. We have to win in the playoffs. So I wonder if that sets up for a big move. Is that going to set up for a big move? Is that going to set up for any type of organizational change? Padres have made the postseason 4 of the last 6 years. They've posted back-to-back 90-win seasons for the first time in franchise history. Early exit obviously makes it feel like a failure inside Petco Park. And you know what? I'm glad they feel it's like a failure. We said it was a failure. I don't remember if we said it on Monday or if we said it last Friday. We said it was a failure. I'm glad the Padres organization is saying that making the postseason is not good enough. They need to win in the postseason. So a couple other things to really talk about when it comes to the mood at Petco Park and what they're talking about down there on Park Avenue at Tony Gwynn Boulevard and Trevor Hoffman Way or something like that? Tony Gwynn Drive and Trevor Hoffman Way. AJ Preller, Mike Schiltz futures. A couple of excerpts in the Kevin AC article makes them expect that they're both going to be back. Preller's got 1 year left on his deal. I don't think there's any reason why the Padres should get rid of AJ Preller. I don't think there's any reason why they should get rid of AJ Preller. For what he has done in this organization, I think he has made a lot of mistakes, but I'm going to tell you right now, the last couple of years, he has done his best work, in my opinion. You could disagree, and my answer to you every single time when you want to make a move is, who you bringing in that's going to be better? That's the question I ask. And so for me, I think AJ Preller has earned not only to come back next year in 2026, I think he has earned the right to get a contract extension. I think it would be foolish for the Padres to not give AJ Preller a contract extension. I think it'd be foolish. Now, we'll see what happens in the next couple of years. Obviously, I wouldn't give him a contract for life, but he has earned a contract extension to be the general manager for the next handful of years. However many years you want to give him. I don't know, 2-year deal on top of it, 3-year deal, 4-year deal, 5-year deal. I think anything within 5 years is realistic. Mike Schiltz got 2 years left of his deal. It doesn't sound like he's going anywhere either. And to be honest with you, again, as we mentioned before earlier on the show, I don't think there's any reason to get rid of Mike Schiltz. Is he the best in press conferences? No, he's not. It's not the best in press conferences. I think we all can admit that. I think there's a lot of things that he says that get irritating for a lot of fans and media members. But you know what? The guy wins. He won 90 games plus in back-to-back seasons. He has taken the Padres to back-to-back postseasons for the first time in franchise history since 04-05 or 05-06. He has done his job. I don't think he should be going anywhere either. Now, that being said, discussions will include, quote, expectations and day-to-day operations as laid out in this article from Kevin Acee, which could imply some internal rebalancing of power or accountability. Mike Shilt's teams have won a franchise record 183 games in 2 seasons, but postseason success remains elusive. I think both of them should be brought back, and I think you could build around both of them. But again, the thing that's interesting is the discussions will include expectations and day-to-day operations and some rebalancing of power or accountability in the organization. I don't know how much that's going to affect the team. I don't know how much that is going to be an impact, but if they're going to evaluate from top to bottom, that's part of the process. To me, again, the biggest takeaway was the fact that they announced that the winning to getting to the playoffs is not good enough. They want to win in the playoffs. I don't know if that means they're going to spend more money. I don't know if it means they're going to make more trades. I mean, there's a lot of different things that they have to discuss and get to. And one of them that I think is on top of everything that could fix a lot of the problems has nothing to do with players being added. It has nothing to do with coaching changes. But really, the most affordable way to kind of fix some of these problems might be this simple solution. And we'll talk about it when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800.
Can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Stream your local NFL game live every Sunday, all season long, starting at just $30 for your first year. That's like $250 a month. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. We'll talk NFL football later on tomorrow. We'll get you all set with your fantasy football teams at the end of the show today with Eddie Brown at 1:35. And at 12:35, we'll get you all your college picks that you need. There are a lot of big games this weekend. As mentioned before, Nate Taylor asked me about Survivor picks. I got a couple of Survivor picks left this week for the NFL. He was asking about the Packers or somebody else. I forgot who it was. I like the Packers this week in a Survivor pick. I mean, you look at the matchups this weekend for the NFL. I saw this. Oh my God. I just saw this article pop up on ESPN.com. This is great. This is something that we need to discuss. This is something that we need to add maybe to tomorrow. It's a full-on article, Frank. This has now distracted me from what I was going to talk to you about. But the perils of scheduling a wedding on a college football Saturday. What?
Wait.
Ryan McGee writes this article on ESPN.com about fall weddings during the college football season and people telling their stories. Oh, my God. I got to look at this. This is great. Are you okay? What's going on? Why are you upset? Fall weddings versus college football. When bridesmaid dresses and school colors clash, invite the mascot to your wedding. I added that last part.
This is what we're paying writers at the Worldwide Leader to write about.
It's a fun article.
No, I get it.
They have to come up with content every single day. You were bitching about the content you had to come up with yesterday.
It's a fun article. It's the #1 article on ESPN right now.
And what's your point?
First
it's the
article
best
on
one.
page.
What else would you want to read about? Would you rather read about the annual NBA survey?
I don't want to read about anything on the website, period. I just want to watch. That's why I watch. That's why I have a television.
Are you kidding me? You're upset about ESPN putting out articles right now? Come on, dog. Come on, man. Come on, big dog. There's stories of Scatterbo. What you want me to do? Tell him to be quiet? Do you want to read that one? That sounds right up your alley, Mr. New York Giant.
All I'll say is I'm very sure that all of the telephone poles around Arizona State are very, very happy he is no longer anywhere near the state of Arizona.
There you go. No fun zone Frank over here, apparently.
I didn't say that it can't be written.
I'm just, I don't know. It seems like it.
No, I'm saying it should not be the top article on ESPN.
Why not? It's a Thursday. What else?
Partly because it was written 7 hours ago.
You know what? You're right. You want to know? You know, it should be the #1 article on ESPN.com today. You want to know what it is?
It's apparently something that Stephen A. Smith said.
No,
because that's usually what it is.
No. You know what it should be today? You know what it should be today? It should be. That's right. I forgot. You guys are on speaking terms. This is what the #1 article on ESPN.com should be. A full article about Western Kentucky's uniforms with Big Red doing the Zombieland.
You know what? I'll take it.
That is airing tonight. I cannot wait.
I will take that.
Do we have an image of that we could show on YouTube? We can't play the video.
Not immediately available.
Get on it.
Relax
we got to
yourself.
show
Calm
people.
down.
We have to show people the greatness that is Western Kentucky's uniforms. By the way, I retweeted it. Go to my Twitter account. This is great.
You're a producer, not your monkey. Hold on.
Get on it. This is for the betterment of the people of San Diego. They must be told about West Kentucky's uniforms tonight. You have to be. Spread the good news, Frank. I retweeted it from West Kentucky football. If you want to see it, go follow me on social media at @B_SURP. At BSURP. West Kentucky football. This is the Zombieland. It's called Zombieland. I finally figured out what it was called. Okay, I'm used to seeing Cam Ward do this. Puts his hand over his nose.
You goober, you retweeted the video.
Exactly. I did, so you can watch it. I sent you the still image.
I know you sent me the still image. I got it now. I'm saving it. Hold on.
So anyway, the Zombieland thing. You see Cam Ward do it. He puts his hand in front of his face, and then he does. Looks like he's saying he's stinky. Yeah, basically saying you stink. Zombieland, you're dead. It's over. That originated at West Kentucky. And then from West Kentucky over to Washington State, where Cam Ward inherited the you stink. And so what Big Red decided to do, since it's very popular all over the place, West Kentucky is making these uniforms that have cartoon Big Red doing the Zombieland with his hand in front of his nose, or wherever his nose would be, I guess. I guess he does have a nose.
The nosal region.
Yes. He does have a little bump right there between his eyes. That's a nose. Okay, so he does have a nose. And then his hands out in front. Those are incredible. That needs to be the number one story on ESPN.com today. What a great uniform.
I agree with you there on that.
What a great uniform. They play tonight, don't they, right?
I believe
We got Kusa action on a Thursday. Why watch the Giants play on Thursday when you can watch West Kentucky unveil their newest Big Red uniforms?
You know, that's funny because that's what I'll be saying. Like in the first quarter, after 5 seconds, I'm like, why am I watching this?
Actually, they don't play tonight, do they? Is that next week? Those uniforms are sweet, though. I love that.
They are very nice.
They're in Conference USA. Let me look it up. I thought they played tonight. I guess they don't. They're off this week. They'll be wearing the uniforms.
Way to get everybody excited.
I know. You're going to have to wait a little bit longer. That's against Florida International. Next Tuesday. That's Tuesday, baby.
It's Florida Worldwide.
Florida International.
Florida Worldwide.
You know what? If they beat the Toppers with the Big Red Zombieland helmets, I'll call them Florida Worldwide. Florida International at West Kentucky, 5 o'clock, ESPNU on Tuesday night. Check out the coolest uniforms in college football.
You got a couple of pretty decent games here tonight, I will say.
They are Frank Marchese approved.
Yeah. 4-1 Louisiana Tech versus 3-2 Kennesaw State. That's not bad. It's not. There's better, but that's not awful. 3-2 East Carolina versus 4-1 Tulane.
Both won it on the American.
Yeah,
okay,
not bad. Kennesaw State and Louisiana Tech are undefeated, 2-0 and 1-0. Jacksonville State, Sam Houston, Bearcat with a K. That's your stinker.
They're 0-5. They're about to be 0-6. I think they're going to not win until they change their name from Bearcats with a K to Bearcats with a C.
And then Southern Miss versus Georgia Southern.
It's a lot of Southern going on there.
In the South as well.
Yes. The southern part of Mississippi is taking on the southern part of Georgia.
In the southern part of Georgia.
How about that? The southern part of Mississippi is favored by 2.5 points. There's your brief college football interaction there. I was going to go with on this where I got distracted, the Survivor picks, right? Because the NFL was going on. The NFL games this weekend are they're okay.
Not great.
And I know you're on bad speaking terms with ESPN. I would imagine you're not a big Chris Russo fan. Christopher Russo, what's your opinions on the man?
Me? Mad Dog. I love Chris
You
Russo.
love the Mad Dog. Yes. So you love when the Mad Dog is mad about stuff on Wednesdays on ESPN.
Yes.
Okay, the Mad Dog was mad about the morning slate of games for the NFL. Here's your morning slate of games that Mad Dog was mad about.
Jets, first of all, that's your morning game in London.
Yeah, Jets and Broncos. I will tell me how it goes. Your week to watch the Jets, buddy.
So
Cowboys Panthers at 10 in the morning.
Don't put that evil on me.
He said 1 o'clock Eastern time slate. So this is the morning slate. So you got Cowboys and Panthers, Chargers and Dolphins. That's a trap. It's a trap. That's a trap for the Chargers at the Dolphins. They never win in Miami. Cardinals at Colts.
Ugh.
Patriots at Saints.
Yeah.
Browns at Steelers. Rivalry game. Too bad. That division sucks, by the way. Seahawks and Jags.
I mean, good game, but it's two teams that who cares?
Rams and Ravens. That's your morning slate.
It'd be better if the Ravens had the opposite record to what they have.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams would probably say that, Frank. Your afternoon slate, Titans and Raiders.
I meant it would be more appealing if it was a 4-1 Ravens team taking on a 3-2 Rams instead of a 1-4 Ravens team. It looks god awful.
You mentioned the girlfriend thing about the red zone and like not having an NFL team and all that stuff, right? Yesterday?
Yeah, this is
the week.
Yeah, this isn't a bad week.
If your girlfriend does not like football,
unless you're a Niners or a Bucks fan, that's your one good game this week.
No. Fellas. If your girl is not a football fan, if she doesn't like the NFL, if she is constantly going like, let's go to a farmer's market instead of, watching football or something like that, this is the weekend to do it.
You get a 1 week pass.
100%. It could be ladies too. Ladies, if your husband doesn't like football, whatever it may be, if your significant other does not like football and wants to do other things on a Sunday, because Sundays are great to do things in America's finest city. It's a great day to do. It's a great time to do things in America. This is the weekend to do it. Because the morning games are not good. What's the best game in the morning? Cowboys and Panthers? Seahawks and Jags, I guess, is the best game of the morning.
Yes, as far as quality opponent, yeah, but I mean it's Seattle, Jacksonville.
Afternoon slate. You have 3 games. You have Titans at Raiders. You have Bengals at Packers. You have Niners at Bucks.
Niners Bucks is easily the best game there.
That is easily the best game, but also that is a game you can miss, and you can go to a farmer's market, or you can go to the beach, or you can go do other things.
We're double dipping Monday Night Football again.
Exactly. There you go. Now, just be home in time for Lions and Chiefs. That might be a decent game. But again, fellas, ladies, if your significant other, if your boyfriend, if your girlfriend, if whatever, does not like football, this is the weekend to do something on a Sunday. Let me tell you, this is the weekend to do it. You have a doubleheader on Monday Night Football, cash in on Monday. You got Bills and Falcons, Bears and Commanders. The Sunday night game is not bad. Get everything done before 5:20. It's great. This is the weekend to do it. Now, Nate Taylor was asking about the Survivor picks. I like the Packers in a Survivor pick this week. There is no way. They're favored by 14.5 points. They're at Lambeau. They're playing a Bengals team that can't do anything without Joe Burrow, and a Packers team that is probably upset about the last couple of weeks they've had. I got the Packers. That's definitely a good Survivor pick this week. The other team I like Indianapolis at home against Arizona. Arizona's kind of a circus. Arizona, with the week that they've had, did we talk about Arizona finding their head coach? Did we talk about that at all?
No, that's in the sports thread today, though. Coming up next segment, as a matter of fact.
I'll save my thoughts for that then. That's all you need to know about the Arizona Cardinals. Colts have looked pretty good. I still think they're pretenders with Indiana Jones. But, that being said, Indiana Jones is going to keep, buy the stock. You can continue to buy the stock. But you're going to have to sell it very shortly. You still have time to hang on. Hold, diamond hands. Hold on to the Indiana Jones stock. I like them against Arizona in a Survivor pick, too. That's pretty much it. Like Cowboys and Panthers, that's a little scary for me. Because the Cowboys, as good as the defense looked against the Jets, what's the term for? There's still the Jets. Cowboys offense will be fine, but I don't know. The Cowboys defense is lousy. Broncos, Jets. I don't mind the Broncos as a Survivor pick. It's a London game though. I don't know how that's going to play out. That would be my next level pick. Denver Broncos in a Survivor pick. Patriots at the Saints. I do like the Pats as a Survivor pick this week. If you've already picked some of those teams, New Orleans is awful. And they don't get to play the Giants this week. The Patriots look pretty good in their last game. I wouldn't touch the Browns-Steelers game with a 10-foot pole. I wouldn't touch Seahawks-Jags. I wouldn't touch Rams-Ravens. Titans-Raiders, I wouldn't touch either. 49ers-Bucks, I wouldn't touch. Lions-Chiefs, I wouldn't touch. I don't mind the Bills at the Falcons. I think the Bills bounce back after losing at home to the Patriots on Sunday Night Football. But I think a lot of people have already picked the Bills in their Survivor pools. If you could pick the Bills every single week and you're one of those pools that you're in, the Bills are okay. I don't mind that pick either. I wouldn't touch the Bears-Commanders game. I really like the Packers this week in a Survivor pick. Eagles over the Giants tonight's not a bad pick either. Giants have any chance of winning tonight, Frank?
No.
Against the Eagles at home on Thursday Night Football?
No.
No, not even close.
Nope.
Frank is mesmerized by hockey that's on television.
Even
is that a
though-
live game?
No, that's from last night.
Oh, my God.
I will say, though, writing out the numbers yesterday, we'll talk about it a little bit later on in the show. Kemp Scatterbo, not too far off of the production that Saquon Barkley has given the Eagles this year. I was surprised by that.
How about it? When we come back, I'll tell you that one thing we were going to talk about with the Padres. The simple fix that they can make that's not going to cost them a lot of money. We'll talk about that and get to our sports thread. The Braden Surprenant Show. San Diego Sports Station 97 through the Fan. 11:38 on the Braden Surprenant Show on a Thursday. Getting ready for the weekend. Got any weekend plans, Frank?
A lot of hockey. Watching hockey.
Is that your
all
favorite
weekend.
sport?
It's third behind auto racing and baseball.
Rank your sports.
Auto racing, baseball, hockey would be top 3. Soccer 4.
Then
Like college basketball 5. College football 5. College basketball 6.
Then
NBA, NFL.
You like the NBA? Well, not really. It's way down your list. That's just anti-NFL. Anti-NFL.
I cannot stand the NFL.
He just hates corporate NFL. That's where we're at with that. All right, fair enough. Auto racing number 1 is good.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Guy's just super into the auto racing. Guy
First
cannot
love.
wait for NASCAR.
4 wheels or 2, doesn't matter. If it goes burr real fast, I'm in on it.
I'm in on it. Let's talk a little bit about the fix for the Padres. I mean, we talked about earlier, there's a lot in the, no Frank League.
That's what the NFL stands for, baby.
Rod loved my transition yesterday. We're talking about sandwiches from Mona Lisa. Speaking about mozzarella, let's talk about the Yankees.
Yeah.
Fresh mozz. I thought that was good.
It's rotten mozz is what that is.
That's, you know what? If there's no milk, it's not fresh. Yankees had no milk on their mozz. Wasn't fresh. Throw it out. Throw it out. Anyway, we talked about A.J. Preller, Mike Schultz futures. They're probably going to be here next year. Sounds like they're working on a contract extension for A.J. Preller, as they should. They should have a contract extension for A.J. Preller. On top of that, there's some other things, too, that we want to briefly touch on. Coaching staff movement. Number of staff members have expiring deals or could potentially be poached by other clubs. Ruben Niebla might be one of those players or coaches. He's contracted through 2027, but has long been seen as a future MLB manager, possible interview candidate elsewhere. Ben Fritz, who's done a great job as the bullpen coach for the San Diego Padres, could be pursued as a lead pitching coach by other teams hiring new managers. Feels a lot like college football now all of a sudden. Padres leadership is expected to reevaluate how the coaching staff functions, especially in maximizing player performance. Some of the stars are obviously under scrutiny. Front office remains puzzled by the inconsistency of star players. Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr., and others had stretches of elite play following the long lulls. The team is trying to determine whether 2025's inconsistency was an anomaly or a sign of long-term regression. There's quiet urgency, knowing some core players are aging and the competitive window, while still open, may begin to narrow soon. Going back to my open, you cannot punt on a Manny Machado prime year. Want to know why? Because there's not going to be many Manny Machado prime years in the future. That sounds kind of morbid, but at the same time, it's the reality of the situation. Every year, this is the prime part of Manny Machado's career. I think he's now on the top to starting to go near the end of the prime in the next handful of years. Internally, there's more frustration than satisfaction after another short playoff run. Expectations have shifted. Fans, players, and management all recognize that 90 wins don't mean much without postseason hardware. John Seidler's tone reflects a culture shift. Mediocrity and moral victories are no longer acceptable. And I agree with that. There should be no such thing as a moral victory. There's no such thing as a moral victory. You don't get moral victories. You either win or you lose. And they lost. You can say what you want about competing, right, in general in sports. There's no such thing as a moral victory. You lost. There's nothing to be celebrated by that. So I like the fact that the organization is not tolerating just making the playoffs. I think us as fans should not tolerate just making the playoffs. I think a lot of you have. I think a lot of people are upset about the Padres not advancing in the playoffs for 2 years in a row now. I like this transition that the Padres organization is going through. Making the playoffs is not good enough. For years, it was because they never got there. Now, it's about winning in the playoffs and finally getting the World Series. What is the fix? The offensive philosophy is obviously going to have to be under review. I like the line drive approach, but I like it paired with slugging. You have to have the ability to put the ball over the fence. You can't have a boomer bust team of just hitting home runs. And I thought this complemented that. And that's what's a big reason why 2024 was such a successful year for the Padres. But the problem with that is, again, you can't be boom or bust. Same thing goes with the line drive hitting approach. You need to have a mixture. You need to have a portfolio. You have to have a multiple asset portfolio when it comes to your offense. Find ways to win games in different ways offensively. This year, it was strictly contact heavy, line drive hitting under hitting coach Victor Rodriguez. If you're going to say that mediocrity will not stand, does that mean somebody has to take the fall here? I'm not saying that necessarily needs to be the case, but we know Preller's coming back. We know Mike Schultz coming back. Ruben Niebla signed under contract through 2027. I mean, something has to change here. And if you believe that you cannot roll with the exact same team and the exact same plan into 2026 that you did in 2025, because that is the definition of insanity, something needs to change. The easiest thing might be having to tweak the offensive philosophy for the Padres. Stats dropped off mightily. In 2024, the Padres' home run rank in Major League Baseball was 10th. They were the 10th best team at hitting home runs. In 2025, they were 28th. In runs scored, it was 8th in 2024. In 2025, it was 18th. And in OPS, I mean, these are the three biggest stats right now in Major League Baseball in terms of offense and evaluating your offense. OPS in 2024 was 6th best in Major League Baseball. It dropped down to 16th in 2025. In the postseason, the lack of power was glaring. The offense was productive situationally, but lacked the slugging punch that drives October success. There is a growing belief inside the organization the team needs more thump and a balance between Mike Schilt ball and true power bats. That is the cheap alternative. That is where you're going to have to make a massive change for the San Diego Padres. Being able to win and score runs in multiple ways. Because they got into and this is what it was the entire season. That needs to be the biggest change. I'm not saying they got to fire anybody. Maybe they do. I don't know. But that is going to be through, I think, the thorough review that the Seidler family is going to do with the organization to establish that just making the playoffs is not good enough. What else is going on in sports, Frank? Time to get to our sports thread.
You know that group chat? The one that's always blowing up with the biggest sports takes, debates, and breaking news?
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me?
Yeah, we've got that too. Welcome to the Sports Thread, where we break down the top 5 stories in sports, just like you would with your crew.
Oh, no! Disaster! What a bad idea!
No filters, no silence, just real talk. Brought to you by QC Kinetics. Stop sitting on the sidelines. QC Kinetics gets you back in the game without surgery. To learn how, visit QCkinetics.com.
All right, Frank, what's going on in the sports world?
Well, I know we try to do non-local sports topics here, but there was really only one place where this particular story fit, and that was here. So we're gonna go with this. NASCAR has officially finalized its road course for San Diego here on the Basic Coronado for next year. Posting the course map, which was originally planned for late last month, has been delayed partially due to the government shutdown. The announcement could come as early as next week, with tickets going on sale very soon afterwards. And reports are that there is already a simulator version of the circuit out. Again, we should get the track map very, very soon. Drivers are already running on it, already testing on it in the simulator. So very, very good news coming out of the NASCAR race here next year.
Should be cool. I'm looking forward to that.
again, NASCAR, if you guys need any help, let me know. I will promote this thing to the hills.
All right.
Number 2.
The Stanford football program has received a $50 million gift from a former player, marking a significant donation as it attempts to revive the fortunes of the program under general manager Andrew Luck. It is the biggest individual gift in Stanford football history outside of facilities, and an unusually large one for an individual program. Donations of that value are typically tied with buildings or facilities. The donation comes from former Stanford football player Bradford M. Freeman, who graduated from the school in 1964 and has been a major Stanford donor for decades. The Cardinals are currently playing catch-up in the modern college football landscape, finishing 3-9 in each of their last 4 seasons. Stanford is 2-3 this year under interim head coach Frank Reich. That's a big infusion of cash to go into the Stanford football program.
Huge infusion of cash. The football alumni, the anonymous football alumni that donated the $50 million.
It's David M. Freeman. Bradford M. Freeman. Sorry.
Bradford M. Freeman is sick and tired of watching Stanford football look like crap. They suck. They went to Hawaii and got their ass kicked. They
Go
suck.
Warriors.
Yes, there you go. Go Warriors, always. Rainbow Warriors. That is what that tells me. They're like, this is embarrassing watching Stanford football play football. They got SMU this weekend. They're 2-3 on the year. They're not good. They haven't been good in years. I think the last time they're good is when they had Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple years after that. They were really good, and now they suck. And there's really no movement moving forward with Stanford football. So as a football alumni, tired of watching Saturdays look miserable and wants to fix the problem.
Yep, absolutely. And good on him. If you have the money.
Number 3.
Can't take it with you. The Arizona Cardinals are fining coach Jonathan Gannon $100,000.
Stupid.
For his sideline altercation with running back Amari DiMercato after DiMercato dropped the football before crossing the start-finish line. The goal line in the fourth quarter of the loss to Tennessee that would have been a 72-yard touchdown run. In a video later posted on social media, Gannon was seen walking over to DiMercato on the sidelines as he was being consoled by left tackle Paris Johnson and getting in the running back's face. He continued to rant as he began walking away from DiMercato and appeared to make contact with the running back's arm. Really? We're going to fine this guy for that now? You made him do a public apology, and then the day after the public apology, you fine him. Really? Come on.
What type of ability does he have? What type of authority does he have? He has none. As a player, I'd be like, I don't have to listen to you. You're just going to get fined if you yell at me. They care more about the guy. Amari DiMercato. I love Amari DiMercato. He's a TCU guy. Helped win the Fiesta Bowl for the Frogs in that building. He should be cut. They should have cut him after that. You are a professional football player. You get paid to play football. You made the most bonehead move and cost your team a win. Arizona should cut DiMercato.
Which
they should have cut him.
That mistake, for whatever reason, is becoming more and more.
It's selfish.
It's happening more and more now.
He put him looking cool over the team winning. Cut his ass. He should have been cut. You shouldn't have fined the head coach that was upset about the player doing said thing. Because here's the deal. That coach is evaluated on wins and losses. That affects his family. That affects his livelihood. He needs to address that to the other paid professionals. Football is a mean game. It is played by men, and sometimes men cuss. And you know what? I don't know why they're finding him $100,000. If that was the case, if I'm him, I quit. I'm going somewhere else. This is BS. This is why the Arizona Cardinals will never, ever win. For stuff like this, they will never win. Ever.
prevalent was the word I was looking for. That mistake is becoming more and more prevalent every single year.
Selfish. Being selfish.
Number 4.
On Wednesday, Giannis Antetokounmpo reiterated his commitment to the Milwaukee Bucks as they prepare to start the regular season, but also said it would be human to change his mind down the line. These comments came in the wake of reports by ESPN Sham Charania, earlier this week that the Bucks engaged in trade discussions with the New York Knicks this offseason about a potential deal for the two-time MVP. Interesting to say, yeah, I'm here, but if I change my mind, it's only human. You don't hear that often from players who are saying, yeah, I'm loyal to you guys.
I'm going to be loyal to you unless I get more money or there's a better opportunity to win when I meet with all my friends in the NBA and we make a super team. So this is why people don't like the NBA. It's not competitive. They don't want to go try to win a championship unless they're on like a super team. He's protecting himself because he doesn't actually want to stay there. That's my take on that. Frank, good job with that. When we come back, what in the world is going on in Chapel Hill, North Carolina? We'll keep you informed.
San Diego, it's time to fire it up. From the beaches to the ballparks, from the Gaslamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime use.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
All guests on 97 The Fan join us via the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. Facing criminal charges, trust David P. Shapiro Criminal Defense Attorneys, helping clients regain control since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. No guests this hour. Skyler joins us in studio. So there you go.
And Skyler is an guest.
Yeah, but
so you lied.
Yeah, but she's not on the hotline.
So she will not be on the hotline.
So I did not lie.
I mean, we can have her call.
No, she's here already. She said she had a meeting at 12, so she's already in the building, which is great. Makes it easier. And then Eddie Brown will join us at 1:35 with the 1 o'clock hour. Matt McIlvane, San Diego Gulls head coach, will be joining us. Gulls unveiled a throwback jersey. How about it, Frank? You got a picture of that?
It's the decade. It's the 10th anniversary season. It was only a video. I don't think they've posted a picture of it.
No.
But Sandy the Seagull is back. Yeah, no, they have not. Oh, they posted like a teaser yesterday, but it's not a full thing. They put the video out today, so I don't want to play the video on here in case we get
from the Gulls.
clapped.
Yep. I want to do that. It looks cool though. Can we retweet? Is it on Twitter or something?
Yes, it is. Yep, that's a very good idea.
We can just retweet.
Let's retweet that.
Go check out our YouTube page, or our face, or Twitter, all
there
that
you
stuff.
Go.
We're going to talk about the Padres made a move today too. We're going to talk about that later on, and some impacts that it makes and what it tells us. Yes, Sandy is back according to the Diego Gulls. I just saw it pop up.
We have retweeted it.
A little orange jersey, like the Anaheim Ducks.
Yeah, it's the 10-year anniversary. I remember going to the very first San Diego Gulls game in this iteration.
Yeah, I was going to say in this era.
Yes.
This era of the Gulls. There's been like 2 or 3 eras of the San Diego Gulls.
They played the Grand Rapids Griffins, the AHL affiliate of the Detroit Red Wings, and some genius at the sports arena thought, yeah, we got a building full of ice in here. Let's not put an air conditioner here. And the place got fogged out. They had to stop the game every 5 minutes to have every player on both teams do laps around the ice for a good 3 or 4 minutes just to disperse enough fog to be able to continue play.
I think I was in college when they came back. I remember them announcing it in 2015. I thought it was super cool because I remember I was asked. I had gone to the arena a couple of times, and I always forgot when the Gulls.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, are they still around? Are they not around?
Independent league team at that point.
There were multiple. They had different deals, and when Anaheim announced that they were moving their affiliate to San Diego, I remember there was like whether or not they were going to have a different name. I'm like, they have to come.
Yeah, it had to be the Gulls.
They had to buy the name from the junior Gulls in Escondido, if I remember correctly. And when they announced, and they made it like a little tweak to the logo. They made it a little ducks, a little kind of a play with the ducks, with some of the colors and things, and like the way that they changed the hockey club or the hockey stick and some other things too, which is kind of cool. But I love the fact that they're back. It's sweet. So the original Gulls were of the WHL, the Western Hockey League, from 1966 to 1974. And then they had the Gulls again, the second iteration of the Gulls. Now, there was 2 other hockey teams in between then. The San Diego Mariners of the WHA and the San Diego Hawks of the Pacific Hockey League until 79. Second inclination of the Gulls came in 1990 in the International Hockey League, and they played from 1990 to 1995, went away. And then, this is the Gulls team that I remember as a kid.
Yeah.
Was the third iteration of the San Diego Gulls, which were in the West Coast Hockey League from 95 to 03. And then they flipped to the ECHL from 03 to 2006 when they were, I don't know what affiliate they were at that point in time. And then, because I remember watching, they used to have them on like Channel 4 every once in a while as a kid growing up.
They'll be on Fox every now and again here.
Yeah, I think like their Saturday games or something like that. They have the select games on Fox.
They're not only are they on AHL TV this year, they've also gone to Fubo. Flow Hockey.
Flow Hockey
has them now.
Also. I'm pretty sure you can still watch their parent club on, what is that? Victory Plus. It's free. So you can watch the Ducks on Victory Plus for free, which is also kind of cool. So we will have Matt McIlvane on with us at 1:00 talking Gulls hockey. They start tomorrow.
Also, Willie O'Ree, who's the only retired player for the San Diego Gulls, just celebrated his 90th birthday not all that long ago. So happy 90th, Willie O'Ree.
I've had him on the show before.
You don't have to brag. Jeez.
It's pretty cool. Willie O'Ree's great. Great for hockey. There you go. All right, let's talk about this. I teased it with my sister earlier today. What is Bill Belichick doing? We briefly talked about this yesterday in the sports thread, and since then it's been even worse. Bill Belichick's North Carolina meltdown. The 33rd NFL team has now turned toxic, Frank. Here's the situation for anybody that doesn't know what's going on. I mean, we're diehard college football people here.
Did we not think this was going to happen when we were talking about him possibly taking his July 1st buyout? Like, at what point did we think, yeah, this is going to get better?
I don't think it was ever going to get better. And I think a lot of the problem is he's not fully in. He was never really fully in. This entire situation seemed like it was a nepotism hire in terms of, let's hire Bill Belichick. He's going to pass. Bill Belichick's taking the job to pass the team to his son, is what it seemed like to me. Now, let's dive into this a little bit. Here's the situation at hand for anybody that doesn't know what's going on at the University of North Carolina and their football program. Bill Belichick, 6-time Super Bowl champion, widely considered one of the best NFL coaches ever, was hired by North Carolina in December of 2024 after they fired Mac Brown. Mac Brown got his team to a bowl game every single season in his second stint with North Carolina. Now, a lot of different games for Mac Brown didn't go their way, not being able to compete for a championship, some bad losses at home to teams like Appalachian State and, losing not winning rivalry games, kind of saw Mac Brown on the way out. So they thought they could do better. And so what they did was they got Bill Belichick as a head coach, and they pitched it to him as the program being the 33rd NFL team. They sold the hire as a revolution. Belichick pitched the program as the 33rd NFL team. I had to listen to guys like Michael Lombardi talk about, we're the NFL's 33rd team. Oh, all right. We'll see how that works out. 5 games into 2025, North Carolina is now 2-3 and ranks 128th nationally in scoring. 128th. There's only 130 college football teams in Division I football. They just got hammered by Clemson. Frank, is Clemson good this year?
No.
Can you tell the fans out there that might think Clemson is still, like with Dabo Swinney, competing for the college football playoff spot? No, they suck.
No, Clemson do be bad.
Clemson is not good. Clemson beat them 38-10. What was once excitement filled Kenan Stadium has now turned into disillusionment. Fans left at halftime of the game against Clemson. We're done with this. What's going on behind the scenes? Well, let's take a deeper dive into the dysfunction that is the North Carolina Tar Heels football program. Divided locker room. WRAL in North Carolina has done a great job investigating this. Sources have told WRAL the team is split between Mac Brown recruits and Bill Belichick's transfers. That's not good. Belichick and general manager Michael Lombardi brought in 70 new players via the portal and recruiting. Transfers reportedly received preferential treatment, more game tickets, better parking passes, even field access for certain families, notably Kamori House and Thaddeus Dixon. Their families are allowed to watch the game on the field. Other families are not. One parent, speaking on anonymity, says it's an unstructured mess. There's no culture, no organization. It's a complete disaster. Let's talk about more about North Carolina football. I talked about the nepotism. Let's talk about the coaching chaos and nepotism. Both of Bill Belichick's sons are on the staff. His son Steve is a defensive coordinator. His son Brian is a DB coach. They lead the defense. Steve, a very distant coach, rarely communicates with players. Most of the players don't even have the guy's number, and he hasn't even talked to most of his defensive players. None of the parents have had any conversations with Steve. They told the parents they have no access to Bill Belichick. Do not talk to Bill Belichick. I don't know what kind of program that is, but at the college level, a little bit different than the NFL. The coaches should probably be talking to the parents, and at least their players. I mean, I don't know what's going on with that. Brian is a little bit better. He's described as personable. The DBs do interact with Brian, but he's ill-experienced. I mean, if you looked at the resumes of Steve Belichick and Brian Belichick, and you look at some of the other coaches and the resumes they have, they wouldn't have the jobs that they currently have at another Division I school if it wasn't for Bill Belichick. How about the fact that Michael Lombardi's son is also on the staff? He's the quarterback's coach. He's got limited experience. You want to know what Matt Lombardi has done as a coach, Frank? He has spent one season as an analyst at Oregon, and then they hired him to be the quarterback's coach at North Carolina.
Absolutely. Hire him.
Sounds good. Think George is hiring him next?
Oh, God, yeah.
I'm
surprised he's not on the phone with him now.
Yeah, Matt Lombardi, general manager's son, also has a job. Ty Nichols, the outside linebackers coach, and Armin Hawkins, the quarterback's coach, both extremely green. Resumes do not fit what should be the coaching staff for North Carolina. Quote from a source, the lack of experience is ridiculous. Reports earlier this week, also, by the way, after this news came out, Armin Hawkins has been suspended amid benefits allegations from the WRAL investigation. Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. They're playing the whole Dave Chappelle bit. I didn't know I couldn't do that. Massive communication breakdown. Parents say they've received no contact from coaches, no texts, emails, or calls since Belichick was hired. Under Mac Brown, parents had relationships with the staff. Now, quote, we're told not to approach Bill. Players say they didn't meet Belichick for weeks after his hiring. The NFL translating to college football, Belichick's leadership style, rigid, cold, transactional, isn't working in college football's NIL and transfer portal era. A source. The disconnect comes from this is not the NFL. There are certain ways to operate the NFL that you can't do in college. Bill Belichick banned Patriot scouts from campus after Robert Kraft's organization banned him from their facility. North Carolina's, quote, NFL culture has created confusion instead of professionalism. Multiple player issues. Quarterback situation has been a revolving door. Ryan Brown, who is the Purdue transfer, was asked to leave. NIL deal rescinded. Ryan Brown then lawyered up when he wasn't going to get the payment he was expected to get, and they had to settle on a contract dispute. Gio Lopez, who they got from South Alabama, started the season, and he was making $2 million, but he got hurt. Max Johnson, who they retained from the Mac Brown era, is now the starting quarterback. He's not making any NIL money, while Gio Lopez, who's hurt, is collecting a $2 million check. There has been multiple locker room fights reported during this week. One of them most recently is Tuesday. One parent says their son no longer wants to go to the facility due to the, quote, toxic environment. That being said, they have to do a little bit of damage control. We'll get to that in a second. What is the public and campus reaction for the people that just love the Tar Heels? Students on campus describe morale as dead. Quote, "It's a great day to be a Tar Heel unless we're in Kenan Stadium." That was a direct quote from one of the students they asked around campus. Some fans are calling for Belichick's immediate firing, but sources say a $20 million buyout makes that unrealistic this year. North Carolina trustees publicly preach patience and long-term investment, but internal reports say administrators are exploring exit strategies. Amid reports of a fractured culture and possible NCAA violations, Belichick released a statement yesterday saying he is, quote, fully committed to North Carolina football. AD Bubba Cunningham backed him publicly, but behind the scenes, the program is on edge. WRAL confirmed a player fight, staff suspension, divided roster within 48 hours of Belichick's statement. The big picture, North Carolina under Bill Belichick has been outscored 120-33 versus Power 4 opponents. The NFL model has backfired, creating an environment described as toxic, joyless, and disorganized. At age 73, time is not on Belichick's side, and the patience in Chapel Hill is running out. Unbelievable. What an utter disaster at North Carolina. This goes to show that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Absolutely not. TCU ruined their program before it even got started. It's great. Josh Hoover ended their program early this year. They had so much excitement, too. How about, I love this tweet, by the way. I retweeted it yesterday. I had to quote tweet it. It gets funnier and funnier and funnier every time I see it. Our boy, Skip Bayless. Not my boy. Frank's boy, Skip Bayless.
Don't do that.
Frank's boy, Skip Bayless, goes on September 1st after the North Carolina's opening drive of the season. Wow. Belichick has a national championship offense in all caps. Heels just shredded the Frogs defense. That gets funnier and funnier every time I read it. It gets funnier and funnier every time I read it. I don't know if there's a way to get out of this. I have to say, though, even though Bubba Cunningham was against this and the chancellor of the school basically made him hire Bill Belichick, to me, you have to give him a couple of years of establishing some type of cultural organization, some type of like, this is how we're going to do things. But the reality of the situation is it doesn't sound like that's happening. It sounds like Bill Belichick is collecting a check while he parades around how old is this girl? 23, 24?
I don't know.
She is closer in age to the high school kids I coached than she is closer in age to me. That's how young this girl is. He's more interested in that. He seems like he's half in, half out. Now, some of the sources have said, and some of the parents have said, the on-hands coaching that Bill Belichick has done at practice for the kids has been really good. But the culture is just a catastrophic nightmare. Michael Lombardi put out to their boosters an email talking about how it's like, oh, well, what we did, what Bill and I did with the New England Patriots, it took a lot of years to do to establish the success. We're kind of in a rebuild mode, and we're going to need your money to help with the high school recruiting class that we're going to build our foundation. I don't know how this is ever going to work. I mean, it is dead before it has even started, and I don't think there's really anything that can fix this problem. The interesting thing that we talked about yesterday is the fact that there's no guarantee that Bill Belichick's coaching the game against Cal. That's interesting to me. But I also would say they dug themselves into this mess. I don't know what paying him $20 million to go away is going to do. What they definitely can't do is they can't get rid of Bill Belichick and then hire his son, which apparently was part of the conversation when they first hired Bill over the summer. Last winter. Sometimes the grass isn't always greener. Probably could have moved on from Mac Brown. North Carolina hasn't won a conference championship since the 1980s. Maybe they should just focus on basketball. How about that for the inner workings of North Carolina, Frank? How about that?
Sounds like a wonderful working environment.
And then there's the Jets. Sounds like a wonderful working environment. It's true. I mean, it's just crazy. That's a disaster. I'm so glad I'm not a North Carolina football fan. But you know what? There's something that might be good news for Bill. NCAA is potentially allowing college athletes and the staff members to bet on professional sports. What could possibly go wrong? Well, we'll tell you when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show. Sanding's number sports station, 97 through the Fan. The Sour Night 7 to the fans brought to you by our local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. I'm Braden Surprenant. He's Frank Marchese. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each and every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Talked a lot about Bill Belichick and the teeth that's going on down there in North Carolina. What a circus that is. Feel bad for the kids over there, but other than that, the Bill Belichick story is just kind of like, I don't know if it's sad or funny or both. How would you describe it, Frank?
It's a disaster.
Disaster.
That's really all there is to it. And again, it really hit home when I went to the Holiday Bowl a couple years ago with who was it? USC versus who? Who did USC play?
I know they played Iowa at the Qualcomm one.
No, it was the one at Petco just a couple of years ago. It's the one that Caleb Williams was supposed to play in.
Oh, yeah.
But standing on the sidelines during pregame warmups and seeing
they played Louisville.
Yes, that's right. But watching the USC kids, just the receivers lining up and doing their drills pregame, it really hit that I'm looking into the eyes of a 19-year-old. Like this is a child still. This is not a professional athlete. So you're doing this, you're setting up this culture with literal children. Not great. It's really not. And it's not a program like Alabama or Georgia or Ohio State, one of your perennial football powerhouses where they are virtually grown men playing at these programs. This is North Carolina. This is a basketball school. You're doing this with children. It's not the same as doing this in the NFL, and everyone on campus now is seeing it from what it sounds like.
Yeah, I don't know how this is going to work in the future. I also don't think Bill Belichick's really that locked in. I mean, he's playing a lot of games. I mean, the whole banning the Patriots from showing up to North Carolina's facilities is utterly ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. I mean, who are we sticking it to here?
Oh, it absolutely is.
Does that mean Drake May can't show up as a UNC alum?
It's
like, what are we talking about here? It's stupid. He's playing games in the NFL. He's upset about other things. He's this whole he's going through a crisis. Bill Belichick's going through a midlife, end of life crisis. I guess 70-something years old. Not really a midlife crisis, but North Carolina lit their program on fire. NCAA is about to light their stuff on fire. NCAA to potentially allow college athletes to bet on professional sports. You see this yesterday?
I did see this yesterday.
The NCAA Division I Administrative Committee has voted to approve a proposal that would permit college athletes to place bets on professional sports while maintaining the ban on wagering on college sports. Well, I'm glad that still is a ban. The proposal is now being sent to the Division II and Division III committees for final approval at the end of the month. If both approve, the rule change could take effect as early as November 1st. Current rule, college athletes are banned from all forms of sports gambling, including pro sports. Proposed change, athletes could bet on professional leagues, NFL, NBA, MLB, but college sports betting remains prohibited. The purpose, the NCAA says the change, quote, better aligns athletes with their non-athlete peers and allows them to focus enforcement on college-level integrity. Why are we doing this?
We're focusing on college level integrity now again. All of a sudden,
integrity again.
Yeah, what were we discussing last week or yesterday? When did the student part of student athlete disappear? We're now trying to integrate that back into the argument. Come on.
I wonder how many athletes complain that they have a deal lined up with DraftKings. They can't do it because they're not allowed to bet.
I'm not be
surprised by that.
Nope.
That would be my guess when this sticks out to me. Statements from NCAA officials. Josh Whitman, who was the Illinois AD and the committee chair, said the NCAA remains, quote, concerned about risks but wants to reduce restrictions, emphasize focusing on protecting the integrity of college games. Good luck. And noted the goal is to align rules with the realities of student life rather than a zero tolerance model. I mean, I will say this. College kids are gambling on everything. College kids are gambling on a lot of stuff. I mean, frat boys are gambling on a lot of things. And it's so easy to do on your phone now. And so now it's like if a kid gets caught gambling on the NFL or something like that, is it worth punishing them for when everybody else can do it? I mean, that the whole, I mean, it's opening up a can of worms. Dr. Dina Casero, the NCAA chief medical officer, said supported the change as a, quote, harm reduction model, said education and open dialogue are more effective than abstinence-only rules. Schools will provide resources and education to prevent problem gambling. Well, I'm sure that's going to work.
God.
Why this matters. The NCAA has faced recent scandals and investigations tied to gambling. 13 basketball players from 6 Division I programs are under investigation for betting activity. Legalized sports betting has become mainstream, with over 35 states offering legal betting. Critics argue that policing total abstinence is unrealistic in today's gambling landscape. Oh, man.
So we just give up.
We're just like, whatever. Is this signal the NCAA caving to modern trends or smart adjustments to reality?
No, this is signaling the death of the NCAA.
Well, they're already dead. They have no jurisdiction over
Well, no, I
anything.
understand that, but like complete and total death of the NCAA. Like it's as no longer an entity, period.
I think it's a bad optics issue here. They also said staff members can do it too.
Great.
Which is awesome.
Love it.
But like, it's just opening up a slippery slope here.
Let's get coaches with a bad gambling addiction to coach kids to get a bad gambling addiction.
These kids with the NIL money, just like wasting it away, putting money line on the Bengals.
Brother, these next generations don't stand a chance.
Well, yeah, that's...
They stand zero chance at anything.
As a society, have legalized almost every single vice there is for the betterment of people's feelings, and we're about to suffer the consequences of it. And when we come back, Skyler's going to join us to give us your college picks for the week as we bet against the spread.
There's no money involved, though.
I know, it's true. No money
involved. This is all for fun.
It's all for fun.
This is fun. We're having fun.
Sponsored by insert gambling company here. When we come back, Skyler's going to have her picks for us. The queen of college football joins us in studio on San Diego's number one sports station, 97 through the Fan. 12:40, 12:39 on a Thursday. And that means only one thing. Well, usually it's at 1 o'clock, but the last 2 weeks has been at around 12:30, and that means Skyler has joined us live in studio to get us the college football picks from the queen of college football. And let's get to the music, Frank.
New picks leader too, by the way.
That's right.
Let's get to it.
All right, Skyler 6-4 last week. Frank went 3-7. I went 4-6. I'm picking most of the winners. I'm not picking most of the spreads. Let's get to this week.
Unfortunately, that's half the battle. All right, first game. 9 a.m. kickoff on Fox. Number 1, Ohio State against the Illinois Fighting Illini. Ohio State is a 14.5-point favorite on the road. Skyler, take her away.
Yeah, well, Illinois has had a really great season this season. They're on a roll, but Ohio State has just a really phenomenal standout group of wide receivers, and I think it's going to give Illinois a run for their money. So even though it's a 2-touchdown spread, I've got to take Ohio State.
Braden?
I'm taking, I think Illinois is going to keep it close with Ohio State. I don't think Ohio State's going to win by 14.5. They might win by 13. They might be like a little less. I think Illinois keeps it close at home, and we'll see what Julian Sainz got against these boys. I'll take Illinois plus 14.5. Ohio State wins, though.
Yeah, I'm going to go the same route. If this were at Ohio State, I would take Ohio State by 2 touchdowns, but with it being at Illinois, the last time they had a big ranked opponent, they fell beyond flat. So I'll take the Fighting Illini here as well. Braden, number 8, Alabama Crimson Tide, 3.5-point favorites on the road against the Mizzou Tigers. This is also a 9 a.m. game. Who do you got here?
Computer metrics like Missouri only +2. The favorite is Alabama minus 3.5. So I don't know. I think Missouri might scare Alabama a little bit. Skyler talked about it off air. Last time they went down and had a big game. The next week, lost to Vanderbilt on the road. Let's see what they do against Missouri, but I'll take Mizzou plus 3.5.
Skyler?
Well, I'm actually surprised that this spread is as close as it is. I'd honestly think that Alabama would be a larger favorite. I think Ty Simpson and DeBoer, they've really found their stride, and the defense really came alive against Georgia. They're finally making huge stops, interception, forcing turnovers. I think that they're really finding their own, and I think that they're going to go up to Mizzou and have no problem winning.
I've gone against Alabama enough this year. I think I learned my lesson. I'll be good. I'll go with Alabama here in this one. Skyler, number 7, Indiana Hoosiers. Still don't know what a Hoosier is. Against number 3, Oregon. Quackers are favored by 7.5. This is a 12:30 kick on CBS. Both of them 5-0. Who gets their first loss?
Yeah, well, I just really like Dan Lanning. I think he has a really strong ability to lead his team, especially on the road. I think they've faced tougher battles, and I just think Oregon is like the all-around stronger of the team, so I have to take the Ducks.
I'm also taking the Ducks. Computer metrics think the Ducks can win by 10. They got to cover 7.5. I think they beat up on Indiana. We'll see what Coach Sig does this weekend.
We're going for the sweep here. It's going to be Oregon. The Red River rivalry. Braden, number 6, Oklahoma. 1.5-point favorites against the 3-2 Longhorns. 12:30 kick. This will be on after Alabama Mizzou. Who do you got here?
Red River rivalry. I like the Oklahoma Sooners against the Texas Longhorns. I would like them to win as well. Oklahoma's got a brutal schedule to finish out the season after they take on Texas. Computers got Oklahoma winning 24-21 by 3. I think they cover the 1.5. I'll take Boomer Sooner.
Rumblings that McTier might start this game as well.
There you go. Flip that script even more.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this game. I think it's going to be a super close one, but Texas has just been a little bit of a disappointment. I think Arch Manning is really struggling. I think he needs to find his confidence, and maybe as he spends more time at the school, it'll start to grow, but I don't think he has the ability to lead his team against this rivalry, so I definitely have to take Oklahoma.
All right, everybody, let's do it. Let's do it. Oh
down.
no! Horns are going down. Boomer Sooner all the way.
Boomer Sooner.
The Nebraska Cornhuskers at 4-1, 6.5-point favorites. Skyler against the Maryland Terrapins.
Spell Terrapin
at
me.
Maryland, huh?
Spelling Terrapins is so hard for me.
There you go. 12:30 kick on the Big Ten Network. Skyler, who do you got here?
Well, I really like Mike Locksley a lot. He was personally one of my favorite ever Alabama offensive coordinators. So I really am just rooting for him at Maryland. So I'm going to take Maryland.
Braden?
I'm taking Nebraska on the road. I like Matt Rule's team. I got him by 6.5.
I will take Nebraska as well. San Jose State. Picking San Jose State? All right. San Jose State, 1.5-point favorites at Wyoming. Beautiful stadium up there in Cheyenne.
They're in Laramie.
Laramie,
But
you're
yes,
right. You're right.
moving
You're
on.
right.
I mean, you had a 50-50 shot of getting a name.
Yeah,
right.
pretty
It's only
much.
like 2 cities up there. 3. Jackson Hole, 2.
4 p.m. kick on CBS Sports Network. This is the game that leads into San Diego State, Nevada. Braden, who do you got here?
I'll take Wyoming plus 1.5 at home. It's a tough place to play up there, Laramie. High altitude in Laramie. I like the Wyoming Cowboys. A lot of computer metrics are picking Wyoming to win outright, so I think they will cover the 1.5. I think I'll get the 1.5. I'll give them the 1.5.
Skyler?
So I kind of feel like Wyoming has really struggled this whole season, whereas San Jose State, they've had a little bit more of a mixed season. I think San Jose State, they've got some injuries heading into the weekend, but Wyoming has lost 3 of its last 4 matchups. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the Spartans here.
I am going to go with San Jose State as well. Up next, Michigan, number 15, Michigan. At USC against the Trojans. Trojans favored by 2.5 at home against the number 15 Wolverines. 4:30 start on NBC for this game. I believe this is Skyler, your first pick.
Yeah, so this is a super important game for Lincoln Riley. It's kind of on the line here, but Michigan's got to travel cross country for this game. I think if USC can stop the run here, they should have no problem winning at home.
I'm going to take Michigan plus, what are they, plus 2.5?
USC is favored by 2.5.
I'll take Michigan plus 2.5.
Go with the Trojans. I'm feeling USC in this game. Next up, game number 8 on the 10-game list. It'll be number 18, BYU, 5-0, 2.5-point favorites against the Arizona Wildcats, a 5 p.m. kick on ESPN2. Braden, who you got?
I got BYU. I think they win by a touchdown. I mean, they're okay, but like they looked good at home. And if you look at Arizona's schedule this year, they played Iowa State, who I think is a pretender, and they got blown out in Ames, Iowa, 39-14. They're coming off a big win against Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's terrible. They also beat K-State, also terrible. They beat Weber State, and they beat Hawaii. I mean, they're off to a good start to the season, but they're going to play a real team in BYU, and I don't think it's going to end well for them, especially on the road. Or no, it's at home. It's in Tucson. I still don't like that. I like BYU by a touchdown.
Skyler?
Yeah, so I talked about it, I think, a couple weeks ago, but BYU's just been really consistent on both sides of the ball. So it's really hard to go against a team that's that consistent. They have a really great run game. They've had a scoring defense. So I got to take BYU on the road.
I'm going to go with BYU as well. Their quarterback's number is like 47, is it not?
Yeah, it's something crazy.
That's fantastic. Number 9, the number 21, Arizona State Sun Devils at Utah against the Utes. Utes favored by 5.5, a 7:15 kick on ESPN. Skyler, what do you got?
Yeah, it seems like Utah has had some struggles this season. Arizona, they're 2-0 in the conference, actually. And I think their offense might pose a little bit of a challenge for Utah. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take ASU here.
I'm taking ASU as well. I don't think Utah covers the 5.5. I think they win by 3 or less against Arizona State on Saturday.
Taking Arizona State as well. Last game, San Diego State, 7.5-point favorites against the Nevada Wolfpack. We heard from Chris Murray earlier on in the show. We'll talk more about it a little bit later. 7:30 kick. This will be on after San Jose State, Wyoming. Braden, who do you got?
I got the Aztecs. I've seen some computer metrics in which they think the Aztecs can win by 10 points against Nevada. I know they got a new quarterback this week. I know it's not Chuba playing for Nevada. And based on like our interview with Chris Murray, like, yeah, there's a lot of factors that might play in for Nevada, but they are a turnover machine. And they've been a turnover machine with their head coach. And so if San Diego State has got a good defense, can force some turnovers, and then rely on the running game, which has been a huge asset to them with Lucky Sutton and Byron Cardwell and Christian Washington, Aztecs can go on the road and win this football game. They have struggled on the road, but you know who hasn't struggled on the road? Their defense looked pretty good against Northern Illinois. You take the one game out, the kind of a fluke game against Washington State, which they stopped running the ball in that game. You run the football and you play good defense, you're going to win on the road. And I like San Diego State.
Skyler?
Yeah, San Diego State, they've won 3 of their last 3 matchups. So they're definitely making improvements on the season. They do have to hit the road on this matchup. And like Braden said, they've historically struggled on the road. But despite that, I think they're going to continue with their trend. And I've got to take the Aztecs.
I'm taking San Diego State as well, minus the game against Northern Illinois. When they're beating teams, they are beating teams.
The score's just been insane.
They are putting up big numbers. The defense has been very, very good. I'll take the Aztecs as well.
And let's look at some of our picks for whatever week this is. Week 7?
Week 7.
Week 7 now.
Halfway done.
Halfway done. I got USD women's volleyball. Well, tonight, and then I also have it on Saturday. And I got to figure out what time that is because TCU kicks off at 12:30, which means I probably can't watch the game against Kansas State. Which is a shame because the only other game that I didn't watch, they lost. So take that for what it's worth. Frogs are favored on the road in Manhattan, Kansas, a place where they are never favored and a place where they never win. So we'll see. They did win there last time when they had Trevon Boykin. That was nice. 12:30 on Fox, TCU and Kansas State.
Penn State's going to pick up a win this week.
Sure about that?
Yeah.
Against Northwestern.
They got the new uniforms.
Oh, that's right.
They got put the right paint in the end zone this week. They've solved their problems.
That was rough. You gonna watch the game?
I will attempt to, yes.
Are they a 20-point favorite?
Oh God, please no.
I think they're 20. Yeah, they're expected to win by 20 points.
Please.
I like the Warren Nolan website. If you were like interested in like RPI and stuff like that for college football, they have like projected outcomes too, predicted results. You got the Nittany Lions going 9-3. What's your thoughts on that?
Fun.
They're going to beat Northwestern, beat Iowa. Going to lose to Ohio State on the road. They got Penn State beating Indiana by 1 at home.
God, they're
on November 8th.
1.5-point favorites. Oh dear God.
Oh no.
Is that a curse for Frank?
Apparently.
I don't like the big spreads.
Anything over 20?
I hate big spreads. Big spreads never work.
Warren Nolan's got Alabama.
I mean, Northwestern's bad, but they're both 3. God, they're both 3-2.
They got Alabama winning out. But they got to play Missouri, Tennessee, South Carolina, LSU, Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough few weeks, but luckily we've got a couple of those games at home, so that should help them out.
Yeah, they go to Missouri, and the Grim Reaper of South Carolina is always a problem.
Yeah.
They seem to mess people up a little bit. We didn't want to pick tonight's games. Anybody interested in tonight's games?
Go for it.
Skyler, what do you got in Kennesaw State, Louisiana Tech tonight? Are there any of these games you're interested in watching as a college football fan?
I won't.
Louisiana Tech, Kennesaw State, East Carolina, Tulane, Jacksonville State, Sam Houston, Southern Miss, Georgia Southern.
I won't be watching this evening. I'm sorry to say.
Wow.
But Saturdays, I block out all Saturday. But I don't know. Tulane usually gives me a run for my money. I feel like I usually pick Tulane wrong.
Well, we got them against East Carolina tonight. We got the NFL tonight. Skyler, have you seen the new West Kentucky uniforms?
No, I haven't.
Oh, they're phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah. You know, like what Cam Ward does, where he goes like this?
Oh, my gosh.
They have Big Red, their mascot, in cartoon form.
No, wait. I did see that.
Yes.
I did see that.
Best uniforms in college football so far this year. The
Yeah.
Big Red doing the zombie land. It's called Zombie Land.
That's funny. I did see that.
My buddy has already purchased one of the shirts for me. So
Oh God.
I can't wait to debut that,
that was
on
quick.
the show. Nicky P bought himself a hoodie, Frank.
Attaboy.
I'm just saying. It's literally big. It's the cartoon Big Red going like this.
Frank, you have to get one so you guys can match.
Yeah,
That's
right.
I think that's phenomenal. Skyler, thanks again. Appreciate the time as always, jumping in with us, and good luck on your picks this weekend.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. So Skyler joining us as she always does. We'll see how she does. We'll see how Frank does. Frank seems a little nervous for Saturday now.
You know, I wasn't until you told me what
Where's
you told me.
where's the Alabama watch party? The Alabama bar. Oh, is it Moonshine or something though?
There's a new one downtown. A new bar has kind of taken it over since we lost Bootlegger. But I think Moonshine Beach does also.
Ben and Woods getting up early in the morning isn't a lot of fun, believe us, we know.
But somehow we usually find a way to get up on the right side of the bed. Join us for a morning dose of fun weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Scott Graham here from Thursday Night Football on Westwood One. Jason Benetti and Devin McCourty have the call as Week 6 of the season kicks off with NFC East action between the Eagles and the Giants. New York is 1-1 after moving rookie Jackson Dart into the starting quarterback role. Now they host Jalen Hurts and the 4-1 division rival Eagles. Join us on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on 97.3 The Fan.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER. Click.
Final hour of the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each and every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. All of our guests that appear on 97.3 The Fan join us via the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. Facing criminal charges, trust David P. Shapiro criminal defense attorneys, helping clients regain control since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. As part of being live and local, we like to focus in on a lot of local sports, and one of them is getting underway tomorrow. The San Diego Gulls are back in action, the AHL affiliate of the Anaheim Ducks that reside right here in America's finest city, will be ready to take on Coachella Valley coming up tomorrow to start their 2025-2026 season. And at the helm of the San Diego Gulls is their head coach, Matt McIlvane, and he joins us right now on the Braden Surprenant Show. Matt, what's going on? How's your Thursday going?
Oh, Thursday's great. We're done with practice, quick, short, and sweet, and we've got our eyes on tomorrow.
Should be a fun time, obviously, getting the season started. Always got that preseason jitters. As for you, what's about like that first time getting on the ice for, after the off season and starting a season anew? I mean, I would imagine you're probably not going to get too much sleep tonight.
There's just so much excitement. We all remember that first day of school feeling. And I think when you're working in sport, every time at the beginning of the season, there's that same type of a feeling where you just can't wait to go take off on this journey with such great people around you and go try to chase down a goal together. So always a privilege and always exciting.
You're a native of Naperville, Illinois. You won 5 league championships as a head coach and assistant coach in Europe. And in the last 10 seasons before, you were the, obviously the coach here with the San Diego Gulls. Hockey in your blood. I mean, tell us about how you got into the sport and what got you into coaching.
Well, so getting to the sport, I grew up in the 90s when rollerblades were the thing. And so I got a pair of rollerblades and I said, this is something, but I'm missing. And so I put a stick in my hands. I was like, okay, there's maybe something here. And we lived in Portland, Oregon at the time. And there was a junior team there that I started to follow. So that was really the beginning of falling in love with the sport for me. And getting into coaching, I'm just about to turn 40 years old in the next month. And I've been coaching this is my 15th season. And so that means that I got started really young. I had a lot of injuries in my playing career that was very short, but I think there was a bigger plan going on for me, and this is where I was supposed to be able to use my passion for the game is to go help others to achieve their goals. And so I've fallen in love with it, and all of a sudden here I am as a career coach.
Yeah, and I've been here since 2023 here in San Diego. I mean, it's, maybe for us in Southern California. And I, growing up here in San Diego, I knew 2 kids in my neighborhood in Scripps Ranch that played hockey. Both of them ended up playing in the NHL. One of them, Stature Demko, now with the Vancouver Canucks, played Little League Baseball with him growing up. But Southern California is an interesting place for hockey to be. Is it, you've been to a lot of different places in Europe, and most of the places you've coached in get really, really cold. Is it fun to coach in an area that doesn't really have a lot of ice when you're coaching a sport that involves a lot of ice?
It's just so unique for the area, I feel. We do this skate around Christmas time for the Children's Hospital, and you're looking at palm trees on an outdoor rink, and it's so unbelievable to kind of put all of these things together. And for the San Diego Gulls have a long, rich history, and we call them America's finest fans, but they turn up and they turn out, and it's a lot of fun to be in Pechanga with the fans rocking and watching the team have some success. And that's been one of the things that we're really privileged for is to have a great following of loyal fans who show up and make it really fun to play in front of them.
Your head coach, you're also a family man. You guys obviously have been here as a family residing in San Diego for the last couple of years. What's your favorite part about San Diego and being a head coach here?
We just love it. Anybody who asks, I always say my wife and my kids, we're just thriving. There's something so unique to, getting home from a day at the rink and I go meet the kids, getting done with school, and hey, let's go for a picnic at the beach this evening, or let's go for a hike and go see what San Diego has to offer. Oh, and by the way, it's November and it's like 75, 78 degrees. So there's just so much that San Diego has to offer. And I think for me, the way that the community has taken us in, and we've become a part of the community very quickly through all of our children's ties. It's a real privilege to be here and to live here.
Let's talk about your 2025 San Diego Gulls. Now, obviously, it's interesting coaching at the AHL level when you have a parent, affiliation, obviously with the Anaheim Ducks just up the road, and you guys are there to facilitate the Anaheim Ducks, and kind of where they're at really affects where you guys are at in terms of talent and managing players. I mean, how does coaching work for you guys at the AHL level, knowing we got to get these guys ready for the NHL, but also trying to win games each and every night because it is a profession?
I think that's a critical part of understanding the American League, is that the American League doesn't exist without the purpose of serving the NHL team. And so one of our big goals for the first couple of years is Anaheim has been in a rebuilding phase. And so what that means is they've had a lot of draft picks that turn into prospects, that turn into goals. And our job has been to create an environment for them where they can learn championship habits and behaviors and that align with being able to be called up and go have success. And we've been really proud of the guys we've been able to move on that are now Ducks and thriving and full-time Ducks. And so that's a big part of our project. The other part is that we've got that loyal fan base that we talked about, and they're ready to see some winning in San Diego. And so our team is built deeper this year. We're a little bit older. And the guys that have been here, we can rely on some experiences that we've all gained together in the last few years. And, we're excited to go chase down an opportunity to go play into the postseason.
We're talking with Matt McIlvane. He's the head coach of the San Diego Gulls, joining us on the Braden Surprenant show. Let's talk about some of the players. I mean, obviously for a community that has a lot of diehard loyal Gulls fans that have been around for a long time, as this is now the fourth edition of the San Diego Gulls, and the rich history, as you mentioned, obviously at the retirement of Willie O'Ree's jersey here in the rafters at Pechanga Arena. For the kind of casual fan, and then it's tough in Southern California. We got a lot to compete with. What are some of the players' names that they should be on the lookout for and excited to go watch when you guys open up at Pechanga Arena?
It's always so hard to name players, because there's so many that I think the fans would enjoy watching. But we're privileged to be able to host some first-round draft picks like Stian Solberg and Nathan Gaucher. We have Tristan Luneau, who was one of the top rookie scoring defensemen in the league last year. Sasha Passajoff was almost a point-a-game player in his second season. But we like to say that the strength of our team is our team. And I think that when the fans turn up to come cheer us on, what they'll see is a really hard-working group of guys that they can obviously care about each other and obviously see that they care about winning.
How much are you involved with, keeping everything similar to what the Anaheim Ducks do? How much communication does especially with how close you guys are, in keeping everything in terms of the Ducks organization with, philosophies, how guys prepare? I mean, a lot of, major league or NHL teams like to have their AHL affiliates be relatively close. So when they get the call up, everything's a seamless transition. How much, conversations are you guys having with the Ducks on a daily basis?
Well, I think first thing, the proximity is a huge privilege to the organization. St. Louis have done a great job of being able to utilize both markets and be able to have your affiliate team that's, less than 90 minutes down the road. It's a big deal. And, as far as our tasks, like, we really want to be aligned with our parent club. So we've recently had a coaching change with the Anaheim Ducks, which affects the way that we do things here in San Diego. So our job is that when the players get called up, that they're able to go jump in and have a lot of familiarity with the way that the team is going to move on the ice. And so they can really just focus in on their game, and everything else should feel really natural. And that's been something that we've accomplished, and we'll look to keep and build on.
We're talking with Matt McIlvane, who is the head coach of the San Diego Gulls, joining us on the Braden Surprenant show. They start their season tomorrow against Coachella Valley. Last question I got for you, Matt. When you describe the unit you have and the style of play that San Diego Gulls hockey is to the casual fan, what do you want casual fans or just the diehard Gulls fans to know about this 2025-2026 club before they start?
Our fans are going to see a team that's hard to play against. As soon as that puck drops, the competition begins, and our group is determined. Our group cares. Our group feels like we've got a chip on our shoulder and there's something to prove. And I think when the fans show up, they'll appreciate that unity that they can feel from the guys, and they'll see a team that is very difficult to play against.
Matt, we appreciate the time, and we got meetings and getting ready for tomorrow's game on the road against Coachella Valley. And again, we'll be happy to talk to you guys or talk to you again, but also look forward to seeing you guys back in a home arena against the Henderson Silver Knights on Saturday, October 18th. Matt, thanks again for the time. Look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you having me.
Matt McIlvane, the head coach of the San Diego Gulls, joining us on the Braden Surprenant Show, part of the David P. Shapiro fan hotline. Facing criminal charges, trust David P. Shapiro criminal defense attorneys, helping clients regain control since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. I'm excited for the Gulls.
Yeah, it's going to be a great year. It's going to be a lot of fun, as hockey seasons always are, and a different team. Very, very excited to watch some Gulls games this year.
Home opener is next Saturday, the 18th. Not this Saturday, the following Saturday. They play the Henderson Silver Knights. They are celebrating the 10-year anniversary celebration. Gulls, jersey towel, and light-up wristband giveaway for the first game. They will then continue their slight homestand with a game Wednesday, October 22nd against the Colorado Eagles. And then they'll go on the road again to take on Henderson. And they're back here on October 29th on a Wednesday against the San Jose Barracuda. Those are the 3 home games for the Gulls in the month of October. He's right on the Ducks, and we talked about this off air. Look, I got into hockey. Oh, what year was that? Like 20. I was in high school, and I remember watching I remember watching Team USA in Canada in the Olympics, and the final being fun. And I was like, this is kind of fun. This is kind of a cool sport. I want to watch more of it. And the closest team was the Anaheim Ducks. This is pre-San Diego Gulls, too, before they announced that the Gulls were coming back as a part of the Anaheim Ducks affiliate, which actually made it even better. And I got into hockey, and then the Ducks at the time were pretty good. So I've been watching Ducks games. I would consider myself a casual fan. I do like hockey. I'll throw it on. I think playoff hockey is probably the best form of playoffs you see in professional sports. The NHL playoffs are the best. It's better than MLB. It's better than the NFL playoffs. It's better than the NBA playoffs. From professional sports standpoint, the Stanley Cup playoffs are the best form and the most exciting playoffs in professional sports. If you want to throw about college sports, I don't know if it's better than March Madness, but it's pretty damn close. And watching hockey, a lot of people always go especially in I don't know the rules of hockey. I don't know what icing is. Icing's easy to understand. It's not a difficult sport. And there's strategy involved. There's different things. And it's fun. It's fun paced. Okay. And so we're watching the Ducks, the last camp, this has been a rough rebuild for the Anaheim Ducks. A rough rebuild for the Anaheim Ducks. They had aging veterans, right? I mean, the Ducks at the last year of really, really being competitive had Ryan Getzlaf and Corey Perry, and they had traded for Ryan Kessler from the Canucks, who spent a long time with the Canucks. And they had these aging stars on their team, and they're like, we're going to go into rebuild mode. The rebuild mode has taken a long time. And in the rebuild mode, I mean, they had Bruce Boudreau as their head coach. They got rid of him.
Got another veteran coach now leading the way, Joel Quenneville leading the way here.
Randy Carlyle came back, who led him to the, Stanley Cup win that they had. And then all of a sudden it was multiple coaches back and forth. They ended up promoting Dallas Eakins from the San Diego Gulls to be head coach. But I mean, the rebuild has been ongoing for so many years now. I am actually shocked at the rebuild and how long it has taken the Anaheim Ducks to get back to, because they were such a well-run organization. I mean, year in and year out, the Ducks were at the top of the NHL and competing for a Stanley Cup almost every single year since they won it back in the mid-2000s. So I'm surprised, and that's a big reason why the Gulls have not been very good, is because the Ducks have had to use a lot of those players on their top team. They had to be in Anaheim. Now, with the Ducks getting a little bit better, and I know they traded away Trevor Zegras, which is, I think, painful for a lot of Ducks fans. But since they have now not had to pull up a lot of goals, and they have had some players now at the top level be able to stay there and kind of backfill, this is around the time the San Diego Gulls are going to start getting back to being that good team that they were. Because when they first moved back, and the Anaheim Ducks moved their affiliate from Norfolk to San Diego, those first couple of years, they were good. And then it went to rebuild process, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh, the Gulls are not very good. But that has more to do with Anaheim than it does with San Diego. I mean, they're at the mercy of what Anaheim does. But I think the Ducks are going to be better, and I think the Gulls are going to be better. It's going to be fun to watch hockey here in America's finest city. Did I miss anything on that? Because you're my resident hockey guy, Frank.
No, you didn't. You did very well.
Oh, thank you. Some of us do watch the Anaheim Ducks every once in a while. And you can watch the Parrot Club on Victory Plus. It's great. You can watch the San Diego Gulls on AHL.TV, and they have certain games that are on Fox 5. Go check out their schedule for any of that. And again, home opener, Ducks or Gulls hockey, Saturday, October 18th, 6 o'clock against the Henderson Silver Knights. Get out there, go watch the Gulls. It's fun. It's family fun entertainment. I know they do like dollar beer night sometimes on Fridays throughout the year. They got great promotions. It's a fun time to go watch, and it's a good deal. It's fun watching AHL, and it's the highest level of hockey that San Diego's at. And he's right. I mean, I know a lot of head coaches like to talk about the fans. The San Diego Gulls diehard fans are a good bunch. We're going to try to promote the Gulls as much as possible here in town. Frank's going to go to all their games.
Attendance for the Gulls is actually very, very good. Now, you're not, as far as like the AHL, you're not going to get, double 5-digit attendances. But the first couple of years of the Gulls, they were the top 3 in attendance. So they would average a good 4,000 or 5,000 fans, which for the AHL is a lot. Hershey would average like 6 or 7 if they're usually the leaders in attendance, but the Gulls are consistently in the top 5 in attendance in the AHL. And they're going into their 10th anniversary season, so that's also going to add a little bit of extra push to the team this year.
I need to get back to some Gulls games. I haven't been to a game in a while.
Well, pick a night and we'll go.
Our guy Derek Dawson's been on my ass about it. He's like, you talk about it all the time, but I haven't seen you once. He's called me out, and you know what? I got to go. I have been using the excuse. So here's the deal. Like, my mom is dying to go to a Gulls game. And so I'm trying to get like a date that we can all, the family can go, because she wants to go. She wants to go with her fam. I'm like, cool. Got to find a date that works. It's hard when you also work in sports and there's other things that we have to do. But the Wednesday, October 22nd game is not a bad option. I love going to the Gulls games. They're fun.
Yeah, like I said, pick a night and we'll go. I have no problem with that.
I got USD women's soccer that night. Okay. Well, see, now I got to find. See, this is the problem when you work constantly. October 29th against the San Jose Barracuda. I might be there. How about that? All right.
Works for me.
Enough hockey for the day. Although we have the NHL Network on. I'm going to tell you right now, Frank has stuck to the bit of not having ESPN on in this station.
Oh, exactly.
It has not been on one time since he put him in timeout.
I told you.
They're especially in timeout with the way that they picked game times for next weekend, where I had to change my trip to Texas, which is still infuriating. When we come back, we got Thursday Night Football tonight. We're going to talk about Frank's beloved New York Giants, his favorite sports team of all time.
Right.
The G-Men.
That thing.
They're taking on the Eagles tonight. We'll get you a quick preview of that. That will be on our airwaves after Gwen and Chris. And Eddie Brown will get your lineup set for fantasy football when we return on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. We didn't get to the midday sports standoff, but if you take me down in sports trivia, you are qualified for a chance to win our grand prize, a trip to see Jerry Seinfeld in Las Vegas, including 2 tickets to the show on April 17th at the Coliseum at Caesars Palace, 2-night stay at the Flamingo Hotel and Casino, and a $100 gas card. Jerry Seinfeld returns to the Coliseum at Caesars Palace on April 17th and 18th. See Ticketmaster.com for tickets. Big Seinfeld fan, like the show?
Big Seinfeld fan, yes.
I love Seinfeld.
It's almost like
a great show.
It feels like a requirement if you're an East Coaster
Especially
to be
a
a
New Yorker,
Seinfeld
dude.
fan. Yeah,
Especially in New York.
feels like a requirement.
I could probably quote a ton of them if I wasn't thinking about it right now on the spot. There's a lot of great... That show, like, I used to watch that show as a adolescent. I watched, like, almost every season of it. And it's, like, 20 times funnier now as a 30-year-old adult.
Yeah.
It's just way funnier now. And then, like, my brother got into it, and he, like, got into a bender of watching Seinfeld, a show about nothing. And then my sister was like, I gotta get into that. I mean, just so many, just like so relatable. So it's so relatable. And then you get, of course, Curb Your Enthusiasm, which is basically like glorified Seinfeld anyway.
Yeah.
Because it's all about Larry David.
Yeah. Well, Larry David wrote Seinfeld.
I know.
So, yeah.
Have you ever seen I don't know the guy I don't know actors' names at all. I'm terrible at it. But George Costanza.
Jason Alexander, yep.
Yes, he was a character that's built off of Larry David. George Costanza, he admitted that. He's like, I was doing George, and I just I would just keep talking about it and try to I came to the conclusion that that George was Larry David. He was like, it was Larry.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything was about his life. It was George just Larry. It's great. No Soup for You is great. The Soup Nazi. It's a great episode.
The giant red light from the chicken place across the street of Kramer.
All the Kramer get rich quick schemes with Newman.
Yes.
All good. Just it's so much fun watching Seinfeld. Ass man on the license plate. That's right, Jerry. So many great things. There's so many little bits that they had. Putty, super Devils fan.
Yes, with that was
Go Devils.
I just saw the clip too yesterday because the Devils start. What's his name? Patrick Warburton.
Patrick Warburton does a great job with it. They're the eating the dessert with the fork and knife.
He painted his face. I see.
Is he eating a Snickers with a fork and a knife? She's eating it too. She's eating a Snickerdoodle with a fork and a knife. They're all doing it. Put it on a plate. You know the 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. Kyle in San Diego, you're on the Braden Surprenant Show. What's going on, Kyle?
Not much, guys. How you doing?
Doing well. What do you got for us today?
I was trying to play take you on in trivia.
You're gonna have to call in tomorrow.
I mean, we have.
Do we have time?
If
we
you
have to
want
get to Eddie
we
Brown
can.
here. All right, let's get to it.
All right, let's do it then.
All right.
Welcome to Midday Sports Standoff on the Braden Surprenant Show.
I can't believe what I'm seeing right now.
The ultimate head-to-head battle where sports knowledge and quick thinking collide.
No, it's no good. Are you kidding me?
Contestants will go toe-to-toe with Braden in a sports trivia deal where every correct answer brings them closer to victory.
Down the sideline! Wow! Unbelievable!
But 3 strikes and it's game over.
This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl.
Can you outsmart Braden? The Midday Sports Standoff starts now.
All right, Frank, we got Kyle playing.
Yeah, it would appear as though we would do, huh?
What do we got as a question today?
What we have as a question today is there are 8 teams that have a roofed stadium in Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Who are they?
Teams of the roof.
Now, because we were not planning to do this, I put this bet on the hotkey pot, which is where the right and wrongs are. So we're not getting dings and buzzers
I've
today.
made
You're
that
just getting
fatal
right
mistake
and wrongs.
before.
Kyle?
I've done that.
You're first up.
Toronto.
Toronto, correct.
These are any types of roofs, right?
Yes, any type of roof, fixed, retractable, doesn't matter. If you have a roof.
Arizona.
Arizona, correct.
Ding. You're going to have to make the noises now.
Thanks.
You signed up to do that.
Kyle?
The Astros.
The
Ding.
old juice box. Ding.
Houston Astros. Braden?
Milwaukee.
Ding.
Ding.
Kyle?
Can I say the Devil Rays, even though they're not playing at their
Does
first
that
visit?
count? All right, that counts. I didn't know about that. I didn't know if that was going to count or not.
Right.
That's fair. Seattle.
Ding.
Ding.
There's 2 left, Kyle. If you get this right, you're
Automatically
going to
get to
Vegas.
win.
Yes.
Well, no, you're not.
Well, no, you're
qualified.
qualified to go to Vegas. Qualified to go to
Get
Vegas.
sued, man.
Qualified to go to
Jeez.
Vegas. You are qualified to go to Vegas. You are
What?
not going. You are qualified
Foul
to go to Vegas.
on Frank for almost getting us sued. All right.
No worries. The Marlins.
You are qualified to go to Vegas. Braden, do you want to go for the sweep?
Now I got to think about it a little bit. Okay. Well, he already won, so I
Yes,
guess
he
I have
has
time
already
to do
won, so it
this.
doesn't really matter. Kyle, hang on the line.
It's not the NL West. We already got the one in the NL West. The AL. Oh, it's Texas.
It is the Rags, the Texas Rangers.
The Rag. That's rude.
Well, no, that's the New York nickname for the Rangers. But anyway, the New York Hockey Rangers.
The New York Hockey Rangers.
Yes.
New York just likes to have team names that are multiple sports, apparently.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Frank's dealing with Kyle. We're going to take a quick break and come back with Eddie to talk fantasy football, get you lineup set for this weekend, the fun weekend of the NFL. And when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show, final segment of the Thursday show on San Diego Sports Station 97.2 The Fan.
Quinn and Chris on the Fan.
Coming up on Thursday, the NFL Pick'em segment, we are tied at 34. We'll be on ahead of Eagles Giants.
Listen to Quinn and Chris weekdays from 2 to 6 on 97.3 The Fan.
Jack here. Did you know my $3.49 sourdough scramblers are available all day? Toasted sourdough with bacon or sausage, scrambled eggs, and melty cheese. Yum. All for just $3.49. Get so much more. Plus tax. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
What's better than a Sprouts brand product at 20% off?
699 Sprouts brand products at 20% off. It's the Sprouts brand sale with 699 chances to save 20% off delicious and unique finds, like our organic super green salad mix, or maybe your next fave, like our organic Italian farfalle pasta or vanilla wafer bites.
Yeah, that is better. And a very specific number.
Yep, save 20% on 699 Sprouts brand products at Sprouts brand sale until October 21st.
Tim, I'm receiving an important update.
Ooh, are you getting night vision?
No, I just found out you could get $200 with Navy Federal Credit Union when you refinance your auto loans from another lender.
So, no night vision?
No night vision.
Learn more at NavyFederal.org/auto loans. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. Credit and collateral subject to approval. Refinance loan must be at least $5,000 to be eligible for the $200. Terms and conditions apply.
Fishing is back on the Fan. Let's Talk Hookup has returned to 97.3 The Fan, Saturday 7 to 8 a.m. and Sunday 7 to 9 a.m. Get all the latest fishing info. Let's Talk Hookup weekends on 97.3 The Fan. This program is sponsored and produced by Let's Talk Hookup. The opinions and offers expressed are not those of Odyssey Incorporated, nor 97.3 The Fan.
West Coast Men's Health has helped thousands of men overcome erectile dysfunction and Peyronie's disease using acoustic wave therapy. No pills and no shots. But it's not our success stories that separate us from the other clinics. It's how we interact with our patients. From your first call, our medical staff will take the time to answer your questions, whether it's about your ED, how our treatment works, or even about the cost. Our goal is to inform and educate you so you're comfortable when you come in for your first visit. So if you're tired of frustrating nights, you're ready to get off Viagra and put an end to your ED or Peyronie's disease, stop living with this problem and do something about it. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
West Coast Men's Health is now offering testosterone replacement therapy. So when you're ready to feel like yourself and put ED behind you, give us a call at 619-826-6631. 619-826-6631. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEG 0000466. For a full list of games enrolled, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
Hey, it's Ben Woods here, reminding you that San Diego's best place to play cards is also its closest. 7 Mile Casino offers Texas Hold'em poker, California-style blackjack, high gal poker, and baccarat.
Make sure you get in on the weekend for their award-winning brunch from Sammy's.
It's so easy to get to. You don't have to drive into the East County. Just head down the 5 freeway to Chula Vista, get off Bay Boulevard right there on San Diego Bay. It's our place. Make it your 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
Your favorite neighborhood spots run unsquare. You know the ones. Maybe it's the popular shop that just opened a new location by you, or the big sports bar that's always packed on game day. These places make the neighborhood, and the money spent there stays in your community. Square powers more than 4 million neighborhood businesses worldwide. To learn more, go to square.com, or just stop by your favorite local business. See you in the neighborhood. Square.
O'Reilly. Trust the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to recommend the products for your next oil change. Right now, get 5 quarts of Valvoline Full Synthetic Motor Oil and a Wix filter for $35.99. Plus, get a $15 gift card after rebate. Limits apply. See your O'Reilly Auto Parts store for details or shop O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. 97.3 The Fan is everywhere. You can stream your favorite sports station on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
All guests on 97 to the Fan. Join us via the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. Facing criminal charges, trust David P. Shapiro Criminal Defense Attorneys, helping clients regain control since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each and every day on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Let's get you set for fantasy football as we bring in our fantasy football expert, Eddie Brown. He writes for the San Diego Union Tribune. He comes on each and every week. Eddie, what's going on? How's the fantasy world doing for you and your teams?
Good. Last couple of weeks have been pretty solid. I can't really complain. Not dealing with a lot of injuries, and the buys haven't really hit. So everything's looking rosy these days.
Everything looking good and rosy as we get to the middle parts of the season. Let's talk about the big pickups and players to watch this week on the waiver wire that you might have missed if you didn't put in your picks already.
Yeah, I think someone that I'm pretty excited about was Darren Waller. I really like what I've seen the last couple of weeks. There's always a caveat with his health, but the situation couldn't be any better with Tyreek Hill done for the season. That's a pretty concentrated pass game now. It's basically Waller, Jalen Waddle, and maybe a little bit of Devon Achane sprinkled in. And I think some people might be apprehensive because of his health history, but he's one of the few tight ends in the history of the NFL that's caught over 100 balls in a season. And he can have smash games. And right now, the last 2 weeks, he's outperforming every tight end in the NFL in fantasy. So if he's still available, I'd definitely go out and grab him.
We're talking with Eddie Brown, who is our fantasy football insider on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3. The fan, he writes for the San Diego Union Tribune. Eddie, what are some of the other parts to right now in terms of strategy? You're at the middle part of the year. Some guys will stream some of their picks to make their roster good. I mean, if you're continuing to win, I mean, how much movement do you have to make? And is there something to be said about you don't always have to make a move if you think your roster is good? What is your strategy as we get to the kind of early stages of the middle part of the year?
Yeah, I'm always a little apprehensive at this time of year because if I'm happy with my team, I'm a little less likely to comb the waiver wire. And there's still a lot of great stash candidates out there. And so I kind of feel like I'm missing out. But then I got to talk myself in to be like, well, you're 4-1 or you're 3-2 and you're doing well and everything's kind of going, the games you lost, because somebody outscored you or, they had a big week or something like that. But really the waiver wire is where it's at. Even if you're good, I mean, there's guys out there that are available, that I think, like, I look at guys like DeAndre Swift and Tony Pollard as guys to sell high on right now because I like Tajay Spears, who just came back, got activated off the IR. He's going to have a bigger role going forward with the Titans. I like Kyle Monangai in Chicago. I think DeAndre Swift has been okay. Fantasy-wise, he's been solid. But in real life, he hasn't been very good. And I think Kyle Monangai is a rookie that they really value in Chicago, that they're going to give opportunity as the season goes on, especially coming off a bye this week. I like Monangai and Luther Burden, even wide receiver they drafted early, to get more opportunities going forward. So the waiver wire is a big deal. I think staying on top, if you're streaming, staying on top a couple weeks ahead, if like seeing who has the matchups going for the next couple weeks. A good example of that would be like the Patriots defense. I think they face the Saints this week, the Titans, and the Browns the next 3 weeks. So if you would have picked them up last week, you would have had them pretty much locked in for 3 weeks, and you would have had to worry about streaming for a couple weeks.
We're talking with Eddie Brown, talking some fantasy football. Get your teams ready to go for this football weekend. We're talking more about tonight's game between the Eagles and the Eagles and the Giants in just a little bit. I do want to ask about the Bengals a little bit. They went out and traded for Joe Burrow. I mean, Jake Browning has not really been the answer for them. And fantasy-wise, I mean, Jamar Chase took kind of a big hit without having Joe Burrow. That being said, Jamar Chase did have a better week last week for Cincinnati. But when you have weapons like him and T. Higgins and, a lot of players on their team that were expected to be fantasy improvements, how much does Joe Flacco kind of get them back to being what they were expected to be maybe at the beginning of the season when you were drafting some of these players on the Bengals?
Well, I think fantasy-wise, that the thought process is it can't be any worse than Jake Browning. I'm a little skeptical that a Bengals offensive line that could not protect Burrow, could not protect Browning, is going to be able to protect the statuesque Joe Flacco and keep him upright for very long. Although if they can, he's going to be able to make plays. Obviously, the arm's still there. But I think that's the thing. Some people were talking to me earlier in the week. Were like, "Hey, should I go out and grab Flacco?" I'm like, "No, don't worry about Flacco. I'd rather take the upside of like Jackson Dart if he's available, in your league. But it should help guys like T. Higgins. It should help Chase Brown. I could see Chase Brown getting a lot of checkdowns because, like I said, that offensive line is going to be able to protect Flacco. A guy this week actually that I am excited about is Mike Gesicki. I think Flacco targets his tight ends. I think if you're streaming tight ends, he's somebody that you want to target against Green Bay because they've allowed the 5th most fantasy points to tight ends. So I think that's actually somebody to keep on your radar for this week.
Let's talk about tonight's game. Who are some of the and Thursday games are tough, Eddie. I feel like you're either going to get a Thursday game that's a shootout, or you're going to get a Thursday division game that your fantasy players are not going to be highly productive. In this Thursday night game tonight between the Eagles and the Giants, is there anybody that you would usually start that you don't want to start on a Thursday if you have a better option? Is there anybody that, that's not obvious that should be a must start because of the matchup?
Yeah, another reason that Thursdays are usually kind of volatile is because it's usually a divisional matchup, right? And those games are a little bit harder to read because they're so familiar. The two teams are so familiar with each other. Going into and usually running backs have it easier on a short week, and defenses have it easier on a short week. It's the skill players in the pass game and the offensive line that have a problem recovering and game planning in only a couple of days. So I usually focus on running back. Obviously, if you have Saquon Barkley, I know he's dealing with some type of injury, but he should be good to go. If you have Barkley against the Giants, that's obviously a good place to start. Outside of that, I think one of the guys that I'm concerned about tonight is Dallas Goedert. Like, he's been one of the better tight ends in fantasy so far, but he's going up against a defense that's been pretty good. The Giants have actually been pretty good at shutting down tight ends this season, and most of his production in fantasy has been TD dependent. He has only 8 catches in the last 3 games, but 4 of those catches have been touchdowns. I'm not sure that he's going to be able to be that efficient going forward. So if you're trying to decide whether to start him tonight or not, if you have a better option, I'd go with that.
Talking with Eddie Brown to get your fantasy football lineup set up and ready to go for this weekend. Eddie, let's talk about some of the matchups. And again, we talked about the Thursday night game, which is always difficult with the divisional matchups. We have 2 Monday night games, which is interesting. But the other one is these international games, Jets and Broncos in London this weekend. That's a game that starts at 6:30 in the morning on the West Coast. Who are some of the players that fantasy owners should not forget to start before the early morning wake-up call?
Yeah, right. I think the obvious starters are Cortland Sutton, J.K. Dobbins for the Broncos. Also, the Broncos defense can't really go wrong with those guys. I think the Eagles, they have a very concentrated offense, and Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, if you have those, they're pretty much locked in your lineup. You don't really think about it right now. I think people are kind of skeptical of both quarterbacks. Nick hasn't been as great as what we thought. He hasn't taken a step forward. And Justin Fields is just like, if you watch it, it doesn't look as good as it ends up being in the, actually in the stat, how the stats play out at the end of the game. The reality though with Justin Fields is that he's finished 3 games this year, and he's finished as the 2nd, 4th, and 7th best quarterback in fantasy that week. So I think he's an obvious starter too. I'm not sure if everybody looks at him that way, but I think he's somebody that you kind of lock in if you have him, unless you have a better option, because he not a lot of teams drafted him first at quarterback. I think Evan Ingram is somebody for the Broncos that should have a good matchup in this one. He's going up against a defense. I think they've allowed 4 touchdowns to tight ends the last 2 games, so there's obviously something leaking out with the Jets defense. That's another thing. The Jets defense isn't Robert Saleh's defense. Aaron Glenn hasn't really kind of, instituted his plan yet. So I think if you have guys like RJ Harvey and Marvin Mims and you need flex, I think Troy Franklin is a great start this week. If you need flex help, he's somebody that's averaging 6 targets per game, and the Jets have basically been leaking points to wide receivers the last 2 or 3 weeks.
I thought about this question in terms of thinking about Derrick Henry for a second. Derrick Henry is a player that on a team that's expected to win like the Ravens and have leads, he's going to get the carries late. He's going to grind out yards. He's going to get touchdowns near the goal line. But on a team that's 1-4, that has had an injured quarterback in Lamar Jackson, that is not necessarily the team that they're expected to be, does his fantasy value go down? Based on the beginning results of the season, are there any players that were, and I guess it's kind of like the question I asked you about the Bengals, but are there players that were expected to be on good teams that no longer have as much fantasy value with their team off to a worse start and projecting to be not necessarily a good football team when it's all said and done at the end of the year?
Well, I think Henry's a good point, actually. You brought up Henry is, obviously without Lamar, if he didn't score a touchdown last week, he wouldn't have had a great week. I think he's going to, if Lamar doesn't play this week against the Rams, I think he's in for a bad game against the Rams. They're a really good run defense, but I think he's somebody you target as maybe a buy low candidate, because coming off the bye, Lamar should be back, and they have the Bears and the Dolphins defenses, and those are 2 defenses that Henry could probably dominate against. I'm really concerned about, I think they're going to be a good team, and I think they're going to be, I think they're going to be competing for the NFC title when it's all said and done. But I'm really concerned about the Eagles passing game. As somebody who got Jalen Hurts and kind of paired him with A.J. Brown in certain leagues and paired him with Devontae Smith in other leagues, I'm concerned. They are really apprehensive at letting him go. They don't like to do it unless the other team forces them to do it. Barkley hasn't been as great. We talked about that in the preseason, how I was pretty skeptical that he'd be able to follow up last season with anything that was remotely close. And so it's kind of concerning, especially when you factor in A.J. Brown just being, I wouldn't say a malcontent, but, being very vocal when he's not given opportunities. And I'm not saying he's wrong. He's not wrong. They should open up the pass game. Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. He's proven time and time again in the last several years that he's capable of putting up big games with his arm. Just something about that offensive game plan and them doing what they're doing. I think they're going to be a good team, but I'm at this point, like, if you can get something for A.J. Brown that's relative value, if you can get something for Devontae Smith, like, if you don't think they're going to turn it around or they're going to unleash the pass game, then I would definitely sell at this point, because I'm pretty concerned. They're being really stubborn at this point, and I guess as the champions, they've earned that right, but they're pretty stubborn. They should be. I thought going into the year they should be more pass forward than they were last year. There's no way Barkley was going to be able to carry the load he did last year.
In terms of matchups to watch for this weekend, it seems like a lot of must start a lot of Rams this weekend against Baltimore from a lot of different pages out there in fantasy football world. The other one too, it's like, to me, they like the Caleb Williams matchup, or some experts like Caleb Williams against Washington. New England's playing New Orleans down there. I got Caleb Williams and Drake May. Drake May seems to really is starting to settle into his own right now. Who do you think is going to have a better fantasy weekend? Drake May against New Orleans or Caleb Williams against Washington?
I like both this week, but I'm huge on Drake May this week. I'm huge on Drake May for the rest of the season, to the point that I think Stephon Diggs and Travion Henderson are huge buy low candidates right now. I think May specifically this week, I mean, the Saints have allowed multiple touchdowns to quarterbacks in every game this season. And I think they've been playing better than most of us expect, and they still haven't been very good. I think the win against Buffalo is huge for the Patriots. I think May is ascending, and I think that offense is going to ascend with him. The offensive line better than it was last year. It still hasn't gotten good. It's better, but the cool thing in fantasy with Drake May is that he offers production with his legs as well. So I like Caleb. I like the Bears match. I think that Bears Commanders matchup is going to be pretty entertaining on Monday night. But I'd go with Drake May this week.
Last thing for you, is this the breakout weekend for Tetairoa McMillan with the Panthers against the Cowboys?
It has to. It's not now. When? I mean, there's no other receiver on that team that's getting the opportunities that he is. The Panthers, Bryce Young's actually been decent this year. Hasn't been great. Hasn't taken a step forward like some people had hoped he had or would. But the Cowboys defense is atrocious. You have to target them every week in fantasy. I think you target them. I think you target the Bengals defense. I think the Dolphins defense is one of those defenses that you're starting to target every week. But I think he has his first real true breakout game against the Cowboys. And I think going forward, if he's available in your league as far as like as a trade option, I'd even target him there too, because I think the Panthers going forward have a top 7 schedule for wide receivers. So I think it's sky's the limit going forward for McMillan.
Eddie, appreciate the time as always. Thanks again for being a wealth of knowledge when it comes to fantasy football. Enjoy the games this weekend and look forward to talking to you again next Thursday.
I appreciate it, Brendan. You take care.
Eddie Brown from the San Diego Union Tribune joins us each and every Thursday to get your fantasy lineup set for the weekend in the National Football League, which starts tonight. Eagles and Giants. That will be airing on our radio waves coming up after Gwen and Chris, who are up next on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This has been the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each and every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. We'll be back tomorrow talking more Padres baseball, but also getting you ready for the football weekend. Join us tomorrow at 10. See you then.